This is Lost Colony, one of the harshest maps to exist in Ark Survival Ascended. With aggressively cold environments, element waterfalls, aberrant zones crawling with revenant zombies, and an entire vampire city, home to the Lost King. To survive, I'd need to learn its creatures, tame its strongest beasts, and uncover the secrets hidden throughout the colony. I have 100 days to save this place, recover the Engram Codex, and somehow defeat the Lost King. I'm Fynixmech, and this is 100 Days in Lost Colony. Day 1 started with me making my character, and choosing one of the two, easy, spawns, I get thrown into a cutscene.
Survivor, hear my words and awaken.
From what I understood, Helena wanted me to recover humanity's last archive of knowledge, the Engram Codex, hidden somewhere on Lost Colony. The problem is a vampire king had already moved in and wasn't really interested in sharing. Only sharing disease, it seems. After my escape, I finally spawn on the ground of the Lost Colony. Helena informs me that I've been infected by red element by the Cootie King. But fortunately, she was able to stop me from being turned via Wi-Fi. As I tried to listen to her explanation about what's going on, a raptor and his buddies wanted to see me fail and ran me into the ground. Oop. I was trying to listen to the story, and we're already done. I spawned again, making sure to stay away from that area right now, and I got to picking up some rocks, because I was going to need some tools if I was going to get anything done. Got my pickaxe made, then unlocked a hatchet, a spear to defend myself, and a campfire because this place was cold. Busted up some rocks for flint to make my hatchet.
This guy probably met those raptors before I did.
I didn't really get a chance to look at what I was looking at because of all the raptors, but this was looking pretty serene right here. Had some flyers off in the distance, some sheets of ice, and even the water was chill with some metal. It was pretty cold here and nighttime was fast approaching, so when I was gathering for weapons, I decided it'd be best to make myself a place to stay. I was struggling slightly with what I was holding, so making some of these thatched pieces would help me get some of the levels I could put into weight. I was tired of trying to shove all these berries in my undies to hold, so I learned the mortar and pestle in the storage box. I then crafted some spears, and for some reason that didn't make me feel any safer. Since I could only make a shirt after that, I needed more fiber. So I had to Donald Duck my way into the cold to gather a bit more. Once I collected enough bushes for the pants, I kept hearing little noises outside, the kind of noise that sounded like something small.
That definitely sounds like something I can kill.
So I cautiously made my way around, shifting through the grass and snow in the dark to find an otter. As I approached it with spear in hand, I noticed a frostbite on my hands, and realized this creature would be better as an ally to keep me warm. So in trying to stay warm, I plunged myself into the cold water looking for a hefty fish to feed the fella. This fish was the first to feel my spear, and because of it, the whole salmon colony was upset.
I don't want these other saber-tooth salmon get mad at me. Look at
which made it a little harder to feed the otter, but I got it done quickly.
There we go.
Taming it and then slinging it on my shoulders to cure my frostbite. I gave them the name Mochi. Shortly after, another otter approached my hut, and this one was going to have to go because I needed hide.
Is there another one of you?
Well, I wasn't ready for what was to come.
There you go. Oh my gosh, there's so many! What? Are you serious?
So it's this kind of map. I ran back to my stuff to look for any possible pieces of hide I may have gotten, and I had only gotten 5 pieces. I wasn't ready for the gang jumping me, and with all of them in front of me not hiding in any bushes, I was able to take them out.
I wasn't prepared for the onslaught of otters, that's what it was.
Gathering up hide, fur, and meat in the process. Mochi was chomping away as I whacked at them, and when I placed him down, I realized he had some hide as well. And with that, I got enough for the mortar and pestle, but I needed the stone. As I was getting ready to head out, I heard an unsettling noise.
What is out here? What's out here? Ooh. What is out here? Something big. Oh, it's one of you guys. Okay.
Even though a Cali was right outside my hut, I was able to rush past it to get enough stone to make the mortar and pestle. This is good passive XP by making things like narcotics and spark power while you go about your day. I went through my engrams, learning a few things like a bed, bolas, and a bow with arrows. I split some meat for narcotics, then ran out to get some of the resources needed for these things. I ran back in my hut thinking I had just enough to craft in peace, but I was short on wood. Well, I couldn't just run back out with the Cali so close, so I took this time to check out some of the Lost Colony skins.
Okay, so we have colony structure skins, so that'll change the actual look of everything. Let's do that. Pretty good.
Outfitting my look and my hut makes me look like I'm doing much better than I actually am.
Ooh! What? Oh, that's just gonna open up automatically? Okay, that scared me.
It was now day 2, and as I looked at the vampire red color of my mini goth hut, it got me wondering if I could change the color with dye. And for that, I would need a cooking pot. I had to go out to get a few of the resources while a raptor off in the distance was making me a little nervous. So I crafted some bolas just in case, as well as making a bow with some arrows. Since I felt a bit better prepared, I decided to venture out a little bit further to find that the otter population was out of control.
Look at that, more than demon otters. There's so many otters here. Look how many otters there are. Look at them all.
I continued on foot, searching for something that could make my life a little easier, like a parasaur or a tanky berry gatherer. Instead, I was met with a pack of raptors.
All right, let's try to deal with him, I guess. He sees me. Is that the only one? Oh no, there's a whole bunch. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. No, 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 no. Oh no, Mochi's gonna die.
I rushed back to Mochi, and to my relief, he was okay.
Mochi's okay.
And the raptors seemed nowhere to be found. Perhaps the demon otters took them out? So I felt safe enough to head back into the direction, only to have my security ripped away from me.
Okay. I'm not fast enough for one. Wah!
I was able to bowl a 1, but its buddy leaped over and pinned me down.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I was determined at the very least to take out at least one raptor because I couldn't keep living, or in this case, not living like this. I finally placed down a bed so I didn't have to keep running from a random spawn. With 2 bolas in hand, I found the raptors, in which I shot an arrow to get their attention. Well, it didn't work out as I got stuck on something as I tried to bola and kill them.
Bola! Jeez! Why?
Now, I done messed up, because now they were right outside my hut. Barely had 2 breaths to collect Mochi before they spotted me.
You're not supposed to do that. Ooh. Okay, let's get... I can't out... Can you please attack one of these other otters?
I spawned all the way across the way since they were literally at my doorstep now. I managed to make it to an ice sheet where I whistled Mochi over, who was surprisingly unscathed.
What do you look like right now? Oh, you're doing great.
I then made an attempt to find and get my bag, but now there were 3 raptors, who soon after chased me into the water.
Are they chasing me? Oh, they are. Can they get up here? Please don't get up here.
This actually worked in my favor since the raptors couldn't hop the ice like me. This slowed them down and gave me the time to take the long way around to retrieve my bag. I had very little hide and I ran out of it making bolas, so I had to kill this raptor now. I could shoot them from on top of these ice sheets and it was working. Until it wasn't.
It's underneath. Now it's drowning. Oh, it's trying to hit me from underneath. No way. Get out of here with that. No, no, are you serious? Get out of here with that. That's messed up.
When I came back, I found that Mochi had avenged me.
Mochi just killed that raptor. That's gangster.
So I proceeded to take its hide, in which my hatchet broke.
Oh, come on.
But before I could go off and get the repair resources, the last raptor came over to receive some arrows to the face. I quickly harvested what I needed to repair my hatchet, then proceeded to collect all the hide from the bodies. Also, one of them dropped some ramshackle cloth gloves and some arrows, which I'll gladly take. If I wanted to get away from this spot, I was going to need levels. So I crafted some more building pieces to expand my base a little. Then to keep gaining levels, I crafted and demolished cooking pots over and over as they're a good source of early game XP. On day 3 I had reached metal tier, but of course I had to craft forge first for metal. I then plopped in little bits of metal I had gathered from some pond rocks and cooked them into ingots until I could make the smithy. I had 1 metal ingot left over, which would be perfect for the pick.
Perfect.
So I needed to go out and find something my level to kill. This otter looked like it'd be my ticket. The otters didn't like me taking out their friend, but I was able to escape back into my house. They wanted blood.
Fish are busting up my house. Like Mochi's trying to fight them.
I wasn't even sure if I got enough hide from that one, but I checked and saw that I did. So I was able to craft a metal pick, which would help me a lot more resource-wise, specifically with gathering metal. I would need metal to craft some of the Lost Colony Arctic Scout armor, which also should help me with the coal. When I felt that the otter's rage had subsided, I ran out to harvest the big metal nodes in the middle of the pond. Came back with 107 metal, which is a little over 50 ingots. I'd be able to craft a whole suit and a tool or 2. Fur was going to be a slight problem now for the armor, and I needed something better than the regular bow to get rid of stuff. That's where the crossbow comes into play, but I was a few levels off from it. So I kept crafting what I could with XP, and that came in the form of gunpowder. I spent the rest of the day gathering what I could until honestly I got impatient. I thought maybe if I could fight from one of the ice sheets, I'd be able to take out as many otters as I could while getting as much hide and fur in the process. Well, it didn't quite work out for me like that.
Oh no, this is even worse, because they can attack me from all sides. They can attack me from all sides. This is the worst. Oh no. Oh.
Defeated by otters again. It was now day 4 and I continued gathering metal and rocks because that really was the only thing I could do right now. I also figured making lots of arrows would help with XP too. I crafted a hatchet, then I converted some of those arrows to trank arrows, which would be useful down the line for taming. I then decided to make some dye to style my hair, and between all my actions I gained enough to unlock the crossbow. With my hair all done up and my crossbow crafted, I was now ready to take on the world. I needed to fight these creatures from the pond.
Okay, that's 2. Ooh, that rock is protecting me.
This was actually working. I just had to keep my distance while shooting and the Callie couldn't get all its attacks off. I was rewarded with a bunch of hide. The celebration was cut short as I accidentally hit one of the 50,000 otters in the area.
Oh no! I hit an otter! Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead again.
And they blended me up like a piranha feeding frenzy.
Alright, well, at least I know they won't kill Mochi.
And this is when I found out the otters wouldn't tolerate me anymore.
Where'd Mochi go? Mochi? Did they kill Mochi? Mochi! No! They killed Mochi! I can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it.
Upset at my loss, I retreated back with my goods, where Trudon tried to mess up my day even more, but I was just too quick for it.
Oh! No! 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 Oh! It's gonna attack my house, too. No! Alright. We can take this guy out. Get out of here.
Despite it all, I was able to craft myself a full set of Arctic armor, and I gotta admit, I was looking pretty nice.
Alright, I look like I'm ready for this map now.
With this armor, I'd have a little bit more protection to help me take out some of the threats around me. On day 5, I felt confident enough to push out a little bit further going uphill. I was exposed to a new snowy world and a neat new mechanic.
Look at the snow! I could dance around in the snow. I didn't notice that before. Was that doing that the whole time?
Look. This was going to be difficult navigating this land without a tame, but fortunately for me, I had found these big yellow spikies were crystal. That means I could make a spyglass, which would be a valuable tool to help me stay safer. I gathered a little bit, then quickly ran home to craft one. I could finally see creature levels from a distance, which meant I could stop introducing myself to things that wanted me dead. I saw that there were some mammoths about, which is weird for a first tame, but they are tanky. Actually might be the perfect mount for me right now. Unfortunately, there were no perfect levels. Even with the amount of narcotics I had, I don't think I'd be able to tame a higher level right now. So this level 20 mammoth would have to do. It got stuck on a rock as I started shooting it, and it went down in no time.
Yes! Okay, we got it.
I tamed it up with some of the many mayho berries I picked, and it was up. I brought it back home, and having 2400 health wasn't too bad for a starter tame. I wouldn't be able to go crazy, but with the mammoth knockback, I'd be able to stand a chance. But not until I gained the levels for the saddle, which I was 4 levels off. There are many other things I could do at the moment, so for now, I named them corn nuts, and then I went off to find other creatures to take out from the icy waters, since I was pretty confident in doing so.
There we go.
On day 6, I spent the morning picking berries and crafting narcotics for more levels and trank arrows. I ventured out a little further and found a 150 raptor, which would definitely get me mobile. It was surrounded by a bunch of other raptors that I had to somehow take out. My water tactics confused them enough, and I was able to pick them off one by one. All until the 150 was left. And I used the same water tactic to trank out the 150. I had to be a little careful as my health wasn't looking too hot from dealing with the whole pack. I got it down and quickly swam home to grab some meat. Between the crafting and killing, I had enough levels now to craft the mammoth saddle. So with a little more security, I took corn nuts over to the raptor. Tamed it up almost instantly as soon as I fed it. Got it saddled up and I was excited to finally explore some more. When I scanned across the pond, a 130 Callie with a baby showed up. So I was confident in my water tactics again to be able to take it out. Maybe a little too confident.
Oh no.
I got back in and found the Callie was gone. I guess they messed with the otters. Oh well, I got this new Calicotherium to raise. This would be an even stronger mount than the raptor I just got. They're going to need to eat. So for the rest of the day, I spent trying to level corn nuts by hitting bushes and trees. The berries also were useful for making even more narcotics since I was still some levels off from making the Callie saddle. On day 7, I split the meat I had to make loads of spoiled meat for narcotics. I got around to finally naming my raptor Nebulon and my Callie Bumble Brawl due to both of their colorings. Bumble Brawl had just grown up, but unfortunately I wasn't a high enough level for the saddle, which was unlocked at level 42. So I took Nebulon on a little scouting mission. I found myself upstream finding all kinds of creatures that were a little easier to deal with than the ones I've been dealing with, like stegos, trikes, and parasaurs. I made my way up carefully past some Trudons to encounter a strange blue light.
Oh!
As I came up on it, an annoying little demon rolled up on me.
We're gonna chase it. Ooh, why are we getting attacked? What is that thing? Oh,
this was my first time encountering one of these guys, so I didn't know how bad it could be. Oh, turns out not that bad. It barely did any damage, but it wouldn't leave me alone, and its hitbox was so small I couldn't hit it with the raptor's attack.
oh, this is stupid. Why is it attacking me? All right, well, we're running away from that thing too. Let's get out of here. I'm more interested in this. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this stupid Drakeling. I can't attack it. Okay, wait, I can attack it if I jump and do that.
It was now day 8, and eventually I was able to figure out the weird little jumpy technique that allowed me to finally kill it.
Oh my gosh. Stupid little thing.
After that, I could inspect the other blue light. It ended up being a Veilwind, one of Lost Colony's new creatures. I definitely want to tame one of these, but something a little higher than what was here. The urge to explore was a little more pressing at the moment. And that led me to some weird dinos that looked straight out of a Resident Evil game.
There's a lot of weird stuff up here.
There were also humanoid gross guys as well.
They're all kind of lowish levels, but I don't know if I can deal with that right now, especially just a raptor. Ew!
I did get excited about the idea of a flyer.
That looks like a pteranodon. Not a good one. Okay, that one's an infected one. No, we don't want diseased pteranodons.
I wasn't sure how strong any of these creatures would be, so I went off in another direction, now searching for a Veilwind to tame. And after some searching, I found another one.
15. Cool.
Then another Drakeling spotted me from downtown.
No!
I wasn't playing this dance, so I ran into some Stegos to take care of it all while getting robbed in the process.
Pego, don't start with me.
I kept pressing forward until I saw some horses fleeing along with a baby Sabertooth. It was on my task list to tame, but just as I was about to jump off, the parent came from the side. I quickly took them out and claimed a baby, satisfying a milestone.
What just happened?
Well, the pride didn't like that too much, as another Saber came from nowhere to attack me.
I didn't know there was a whole fleet of them.
And now that whole altercation scared little Junior a bit, and they sat on my raptor's feet, and now I couldn't move.
I'm stuck in. There's Dinotherium around. Come on. You can't do this to me. You can't do this to me.
Jumping, whistling to follow, nothing worked. I was convinced I was just gonna have to wait for this kitty to die from starvation, but I couldn't, as I just realized I could die from starvation since I was robbed earlier. So I picked some berries as a snack to hold me over, and I guess that was the secret move, since when I went back to unstick the raptor, it was now free. I left the saber behind since I didn't really need it, and I kept moving forward. Until I noticed the creatures were a little bit more violent and there was weird purple areas. So I thought it'd be best to turn back. And then I found a Veilwind. Can you guess what level it was? You got it.
20! Oh my gosh.
Their taming method wasn't difficult at all. You literally just walk up and claim it. They do, however, like to make multiple fake puppers, which can be claimed when they get spooked, so best to come in crouched.
There we go. We got it.
Put them in companion mode and now they're immortal. I found a slightly higher level baby on my way home, but that was short-lived due to a series of unfortunate events.
Okay, I don't know if you'll make it, little baby. Oh no! Oh, they took care of it. Alright, thank you. Oh, we gotta get this little kid back. Okay, so this level 50 is better than the one we got now. Oh no! Are you serious? Oh. Alright. I don't even remember getting hit. Okay.
Since I was put to sleep, the kit ended up waiting so long to eat it died.
Oh no! Come on, I was about to feed you!
Everyone's starving on this arc. On day 9, I was having a fiber problem, so I made myself a sickle to help with that, and gathered up a ton. I crafted some wood pieces to help with XP and to expand my little hut a little, and all this gave me enough levels to craft the Cali saddle. When I went to saddle a Bumblebraw, I discovered they had a journeyman treasure cache. They must have looted from one of the many trespassers on my land. Since I was doing a little building, I figured this would be a good time to gather up and smelt some metal while I was around the base. This Veilwind kept stepping in the way when I tried to place my pieces. It must have wanted me to name it.
Vox. That's a good name for you.
To keep up with the wood upgrades, I need to go out a couple times on the Mammoth to gather more resources. It took all day, but I gave myself a little bit of a better hut, built out of a strong material, more space, and with windows to see the dangers. Day 10 was the day to explore, as I encountered my first threat on Bumblebraw, and they easily took out the Raptor Pack.
That's right, that's right.
This was the confidence I needed.
Nice, nice, nice.
But I was stopped in my tracks for a little dung beetle.
Is that a dung beetle? That's a dung beetle.
The idea of a greenhouse seemed so far away from me, but I could definitely use all the oil that they passively generated. I tamed it up with spoiled meat, which works when there's no dookies about.
And there we go, we got our dung beetle.
I named them Scots and threw them into my shack to munch on some mammoth manure. Then I was off to explore. I wanted badly to uncover more of the map, but I just have to make my way slowly along the river. Oh! Okay, now we can deal with the drakelings. Drakelings are kind of weak, but I had a hard time hitting them, and it's funny because at one point I acted like drakelings were my biggest obstacle or threat. Even more so than a Rex, Ostodon, Managarmr, or anyone who plays Ark knows they're way bigger threats. I was ready for anything now. So ready, I wandered myself into a purple area to deal with my first revenants. Yeah, look, they got cooties over here. Let me give you one of these.
Now that
Okay,
is unsettling.
that wasn't so bad. Then found something I don't think I was quite ready to take on. What is that thing? Hulking all alpha? Oh no. I don't want to fight any alphas, anythings. No alphas. Not today. I kept up my exploring on day 11 and found a 150 Veilwind, which would be a nice upgrade to the one that I had. Oh. Easy. Look at this one though. This one's like blue. Ooh, doing little stretchies. I switched out the companions and gave her the name Shiva. I tested them out on a nearby Revenant and yeah. You don't have a Veilwind, get one today. Feels like cheating. Oh, they melted it. I then came across a 140 Iguanodon. Bumblebrawl was great for some damage, but an Iguanodon is a little bit more mobile of a travel mount. So I bolted and knocked it out. There we go. Nice. I left Bumblebrawl behind since I could now jump and figured it'd be hard for them to keep up with me. Now I needed to find a flyer. There were snow owls around, but I really hate taming these guys. They're usually pretty squishy and they have weird hitboxes. There had to be something else. As I pushed forward, it was getting a little too dangerous for an Iguanodon. So, sometime in the night, I turned back, making my way back towards Bumblebrawl and bringing them home. Named the Iguanodon Thumbs. It's now day 12, and because my need for a flyer was growing stronger, I started thinking maybe I could sneak into the right cave and tame a Desmodus. I needed blood packs to do that, so I made a syringe to slowly start making some packs. Figured if I did a little bit at a time, I could stock up. Then I took Thumbs out for some more exploring. I came across a green pile of crates that I found out was a resource cache. If this was anything like an extinction drop, I wasn't about to stroll in there with an Iguanodon and some hope. I needed to prep. I just made note where I saw a couple and I kept moving forward. In the early morning hours of day 13, I found a lovely sight. My first Pteranodons. This was just my speed to tame. Oh no. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Get it, guys, get it. Save me! Save me! It was a little sketchy in this area, but I just waited patiently till a scared Pteranodon landed up the mountain. It was just a level 60, but at this point, any flyer was better than no flyer. Threw some meat in it, and it was up in no time. Now I needed to safely make my way back home through this bad neighborhood. Oh, no, 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 this is bad, actually. No, oh. This is bad. This is bad. Can I call more friends? Call more friends. Smack him in the face. Get on top. No, the stupid Microraptor's still in it. Oh no, the Pteranodon. Look at the Pteranodon. Oh no. 140 Wolf. Get out of here, Pteranodon. What are you doing? Get out of here. Stop trying to get in here. This thing was so weak, it almost died in that fight. No worries, I just needed to get up in the air. I found out this is where all the Pteranodons hang out, so as soon as I was flying, I'd have to come right back here for a better one. Come on, are you serious? Made it back to base to craft a Pteranodon saddle. I gave them a very fitting name. Please don't die. And I finally had flight. It can't even hold me. See, that's the problem with taming something so low level. And then I finally had flight. It felt so good being in the air, but I was still far from safe. As Please Don't Die had terrible stamina, so I had to land frequently in the mountainous terrain. Eventually I made my way back to the land of the Pteranodons searching for a higher level. Problem was that any of the ones I wanted were flying way too high in the air, like in the stratosphere high. So I tried giving them a friendly nudge towards the mountain. This was taking too long, so I had to keep looking. Plus it was too high, I literally ran out of stamina flying up there. We made it back safely to the ground. It was cold on the mountain at night, so I couldn't stay here long. As I was about to leave, I spotted a 140 with a baby. This was it. I easily bullet and knocked it out. Then I was attacked. Oh! No! Get away from me! Get away from me! Oh! This thing. Here from downtown. Oh, don't be messing up my stuff, man. Oh my gosh, so stupid! On day 14, I had Shiva take out a baby mammoth for some prime to give to the downed pteranodon. Once it was up, I claimed the baby and saddled up the new pteranodon, which felt much better. I was hoping the baby would fly, but it proceeded to almost walk itself off the cliff. So for now, I'd have to leave them to grow on the ledge so they were strong enough to fly. Next on my list was to get an RG, a good all-around mount to have. I ventured farther than I have gone before until I found a channel with a good amount of them.
Oh, there's 140 down there.
That'll do just fine. I went to a safe-ish area to gather the resources needed to build a small trap. Then I rushed back to find a good spot. I had to be careful as there was creatures like dreadmares and manas about. I set up the trap, which is a fat dog trap, and I'll provide the link in the description. On day 15, I got the RG's attention and slowly led it to the trap. Easy peasy. And I knocked it out. Flew out to get some prime, dropped it in, and just like that, I now had an RG. I wasn't a high enough level to make the saddle, but at least I secured a tame for now. I spotted another high level RG, and that would be awesome to have a pair. As I was setting the trap though, the universe decided I was getting a little too comfortable.
Oh, 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 no. All right, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here. Don't mess with my stuff. Oh, it's messing with us. Get away from me. Yep, we gotta get out of here. Thought we were safe.
On day 16, I made a preserving bin to hold the stale blood packs I had, trying to extend the spoil timer for a little bit. I spent most of the day gathering resources to make various useful things in the mortar and pestle, like spark powder, gunpowder, and narcotics. This really was my most reliable way to level up and slowly be productive. I also accomplished this by crafting stone building pieces that I could use for future builds. When I got tired of that, I took a dip to gather some metal to smelt and grab up some pearls since there was an abundant amount of them in here. Eventually, a penguin with a baby wandered up into my camp. I thought this could be useful for a polymer farm later, so I took out the parent and claimed the baby. I was gaining levels steadily to the point where I unlocked the fabricated crossbow. I needed the fabricator to craft it, but I was a little short on resources, so I flew out to get the crystal to get the necessary resources to craft the fabricator. On day 17, I took the little oil I had and made some gas for the fabricator. Then I took a look at what I needed for the fabricated crossbow, and it was kind of expensive. I didn't have a whole lot of chitin to turn into cementing paste for this thing. This day was mostly spent doing the same thing I did the day before for levels until I finally got to level 62 for the RG saddle. I went out for a late night keratin chitin run to get enough for the saddle. Of course, the second I actually needed bugs, they collectively decided to clock out for the day. Maybe an Anki can give me what I need.
10? That's all I got?
Yeah, that's not worth it. On day 18, I was tired of getting unexpected visitors at my base, so I put up some spikes in the hopes that any invaders would be deterred. Even though I wasn't swimming in chitin, I had enough to craft the RG saddle and saddle Hitori up. Now, with the power of Hitori, I felt a little bit better going out to take care of business. Not too far from my base, there was a high-level Theory and a Megatherium. It's not too early to think about some kind of cave or boss dinos. Also needed to think about some utility dinos, and there was a 145 Anki moseying around. Brought them back to base to trank them out. And remember those unexpected visitors I was talking about? Well, one showed up.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay, wait. Some bad stuff's happening now. Alright. Why are you slow? No. Stop messing with my stuff! Oh my gosh. Okay, you go over here. I'm gonna pick you up. You gotta go. Jeez. Once I took care of Spidey, I took care of the Anki. Not that these spikes were even helping, but I put some around the Anki so it could tame up in peace. Just a note, there was many times when I was hanging around or waiting for things and I just started crafting building pieces to have for later. Just seems a bit redundant to mention it every time I did it, which I'll have you know, it was a lot. I ventured out on day 19 to explore the areas to see what creatures I could find. Mainly I was trying to find a Dodicarus for some rock smashing and frogs for cementing paste, which I was severely lacking on. What I managed to find was this. Yeah, see, here's one of those little supply crate thingies. Resource catch gamma. So it implies that I'm gonna have to like defend it and everything, and it's a pretty big space. I mean, like I said, the Archie's the best thing I got right now. So I don't know if I'd be able to defend it just with them. Plus, there's also the fact that I have to bring everything over here. You know? I have no cryopods. I don't even know if you can craft them or if you have to get them from the drops. No clue. Another stupid microraptor. We're gonna stay up here. I was slowly making my way up north, chipping away at uncovering the map. I found a weird forest biomes and mountains, lots and lots of mountains. This map felt like it was mostly mountains, tall ones at that. I also found a few places that looked a little like outposts or bases like this one. Breeding pits? What's that mean?
I get like free babies from here? I've kind of stayed away from a lot of these places. I don't know if they automatically activate when you get near them or what. I mean, it's cool. Ooh, yeah, something's happening. Nope, don't want to do that. Okay. Best to stay away from all these places for now. I came across a glowy forest where I finally found some Doedicurus, but they were not very good levels. So the search continues. It was now day 20 and I did find some Doedics after almost searching for half the day. And of course they had to be fighting a Rex. This was the first Rex I had seen, but you know what, this may be useful later. Unfortunately, these Doedics were not it. I had searched high and low with no luck. Mostly high because this map has approximately 17 billion mountains, all the way up the entirety of the left side of the map. Tired and cold, I made my way back to base, stopping by the swamp nearby, and what do I find? Frogs! Alright, so we might have a good chance of getting a frog now. But, I mean, we got this one on 45. Alright. I quickly made a 2x2 trap to drop it in and knock it out safely. Killed a nearby mammoth for some prime, which quickly tamed up the frog. It has great health, stamina, and the melee wasn't too bad either. This is a good frog, but I need another before doing anything too crazy with it. I guess ask and you shall receive, because I went back out to look for more and look at this. And it's a 145. I can't. I couldn't believe another high-level frog literally across the pond in the snow when I spent the last 2 days looking for just one. That's usually how it works. So I brought it back home, tranked it out, and fed it some leftover prime. Then you wouldn't believe what I found next. There's frogs all over here. Are you kidding me? Get out of here with that. On day 21, I made a feeding trough for all the new mouths I had to feed and placed it outside my base. Then I took one of my new frogs to a nearby swamp hole to try and find some bugs to chew up and spit out for base. Ark naturally did me dirty again. I must have passed this swamp area over a dozen times when the bugs were everywhere, but the second I bring a frog, nothing. Not a single crunchy little paste nugget. So I found something else that caught my eye. A dung beetle would be great for some passive oil. And of course, as soon as I changed objectives, the flying ants decided to come out of hiding to bother me then. Oh, bugs, finally. Guess I can't complain since this is what I wanted. I had to rely on weird maneuvering and whistles to try and get them though, since I didn't have a saddle for my frog yet because the saddle needs cementing paste, for which I have none. There we go. Eventually the frog remembered it was a frog and started eating. There we go. Okay, that was a lot harder than it needed to be, but okay. Was I rewarded for my efforts? Not really, but I guess it was better than nothing. At least I can grab this dung beetle while I was here and tame it up. There we go. I grabbed it and took the beetle and the frog back to base, where I immediately put the beetle to work. I was going to call it there for the night, but there was a monster slowly getting closer to my base. This thing's going to come down here and ruin my world. Okay. I was going to have to take it down despite Helena's advice against it.
Has to be the local apex predator. I'd avoid it. Unless you're ready for a T-Rex-sized fight.
This was my first time encountering one of these guys in any Ark in the wild, and I didn't know what to expect. I thought I was safe on the back of the RG until I wasn't. It wasn't even the Ostodon that froze me, but a Veilwind causing that to happen. So I called some of my Veilwind friends to help me take them all out. There's a lot of them. Immediately after killing the Ostodon, an Alpha Raptor rolled up out of nowhere. But the Veilwinds made quick work of it with no problems. Alright. On day 22, I finally made the frog saddle, and you think it'd be so I can go kill bugs myself. But no, I was going to need some babies from my frog pair, and they can get really weird when it comes to mating. You'll see in a moment. At first I made a little breeding pen in the water with 4 dino gates. Then I brought each frog over to the pen. Frogs lay eggs, just like in real life, and the eggs hatch into tadpoles, which needed to stay submerged in water. Now this is really what the saddle was for, because even with both frogs in the water and breeding, sometimes the, I guess parts don't exactly line up. So you kind of have to help them along by putting them in the right position. In this case, they still didn't like the love shack. So I had to pick it up and put it in deeper water, and they still had issues. You're in water. How come he's in water, but you're not? Eventually, we all found a position that made everybody happy. There we go. Since I was going to stick around for the day, I made an Anki saddle so I could spend my time gathering up some metal from the lake. Saddled him up and named him Mikey, then got interrupted by some unwanted predators. I dealt with some myself, and of course the crew had to go take the fight all the way to the love shack. Man, they probably stopped breeding. The frogs are all upset. I brought everyone back to the yard, and then I went to check on the frogs. They were fine and had laid an egg that was already incubating. Then I'm not really sure why I did this. Maybe I was frazzled by the fight, but I decided to harvest the metal by hand instead of using my newly saddled Anki. Maybe I thought I'd get more with the apprentice pick? Who knows? Either way, I brought it inside the smelt. Now I'm thinking maybe I didn't want to miss the baby that was going to hatch. Distraction for me is a constant enemy of mine. I go to do one thing and then I end up doing 27 other things that had nothing to do with the other thing. Let me know if any of you guys play Ark the same way in the comments down below. The tadpole didn't get all the good stats, but its stats were still good. I figured having a few backups wouldn't hurt. I gathered even more metal by hand before heading out to see if I could find something interesting. And I did. Ooh, that's a male. I needed this 145 Veilwind to mate with the female I already had. Easy tame unless it's in the water, then it just doesn't work. I had to watch it synchronize swim with my Veilwind until a fairy walked in and he didn't like the performance too much.
Oh no, it's mad at me.
I dipped out long enough for it to lose aggro, then I went back and claimed the Veilwind. I let it back home and wasn't really thinking till halfway that I could just safely pick it up with the RG. I must have been really tired recording on this day. My brain just wasn't working right. I then checked on the frogs and I had juvenile twins and another egg waiting. Got the Veilwinds breeding as well while this compy sat there and watched. I decided to use at least one creature for gathering today, so I took corn nuts out to gather some more wood. On day 23, I woke up to find a bouncing baby frost puppy. Of course, it didn't get all the good stats, but you know what's better than 14 frost puppies? 21 frost puppies! Not really sure if that was a good joke or not, since, you know, you can call up to 6 friends, and I got 2, which is 14, and now we got a baby, and it's just math. Anywho, I got them trying again for a baby with all the good stats. With everyone doing okay for the moment, I decided to go out to see what I could find. After a short flight fairly close to my base, I found a 150 Theory and a 145 Theory. They were spawning pretty frequently now, and if the levels were like this, I may actually want to bring Theories into my fights. But they require a lot of narcotics and babysitting to tame, especially with berries. And I was still pretty broke, so I kept pressing forward. I still needed the Doedicurus and figured making my way towards the mountains would be it. I found a structure with a whole lot of chaos happening on it, and to my surprise, a 140 Thylaquileo. This could be a great tame for some bleed alone to help me take down some of the supply drops to get some of the goodies I desperately needed. I could have picked it up to trap it, but the problem with Thylas is if they're aggro to you, they bite you all the way there. And my base was kind of far, so I stuck a pin in it for now and kept on my search for the Doedicurus, which was going to take a while as these mountains were massive, taking me hours to fly up. There were so many cool pre-built structures along all these cliffs I wanted to check out, also making note of where I might actually want to build. Until then, the search continues on, and I finally found some Doedicurus on the mountain.
Found some, please be good levels. There's a 90. Ooh, this blue one. Oh my gosh, level 20.
I kept moving up and it seemed like the levels got higher.
100. Okay, we're getting there.
Also as high level was these Ocelotons on the top. They'd probably be very tough to tame up on the mountain, but at least I knew where I can get some high levels if I wanted to tame some. Shortly after, I found a 135 Doedicurus and figured that's about the best I could do for now. So I picked them up and brought them back to knock out. I then did a quick check on the now grown babies I had and took a minute to admire what I had done so far. That was a mistake.
What is going on? No, please don't die.
No.
Oh, no, 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 no. They're near my stuff. Uh-oh. Oh, they're near this. Oh, no, 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 no. Are they near this guy?
Yeah, I probably should have just started over with this Doedic, but I already spent so much time looking and I really needed to keep it moving forward, so I kept taming this one even though the effectiveness was completely trash.
Oh, the taming effectiveness. Are you kidding me? These stupid raptors. This keeps happening too. Oh my gosh. Like, I can't. I mean, I'm not going to get another Doedic. At least not right now. I spent a while trying to even just find this one, but I could let it wake up and then knock it out again. But the thing is with Doedicurus, it's like they have to heal, and it's a herbivore, so it's just going to take forever to heal on top of... Yeah, because you can't knock it back out again, because then it'll ball up, and then the darts will do like 2 damage. These stupid raptors, I swear, they keep coming too. They keep coming from across the pond, and I thought about it. I thought about putting spikes all the way around here. But it's stupid. But it's also stupid that they come from across the pond. Ah. Man, this sucks.
It was now day 24, and while trying to figure out my next moves, I noticed a wandering baby Phiomia.
Well, my guys just killed a Phiomia, so I might as well claim this one. I mean, for the poop, I guess. I don't know.
Then I looked over my cementing paste situation since I wanted to make some metal billboards for taming. I had just enough to make 4, and I was considering going after those Theories. While cleaning up around the base, I found a treasure map from probably one of the very many raptor attacks. I'd have to go do some of these soon, so I made myself a shovel. I then noticed a raptor threat nearby, which I took down easily with Hitori, and what do you know? Some bugs showed up. So I took my best frog over to decimate their bodies into paste. That's when I noticed another frost pup was walking around unclaimed that quickly went into the spikes. I'm sorry! I freed it and claimed it to discover it didn't even have the good stats. I then took care of the rest of these bugs, giving me 48 cementing paste. It was still going to be some time for my trash Dodic to wake up, so I decided to go hunting for treasure. This was going to be a long flight, as it was on the other side of the map, which took me into the late night. I cautiously made my way in, discovering I could fly in here. I saw that this cave was massive and had a lot of bugs, which I had to clear out to be able to safely dig for treasure.
Alright, I should be able to just pop, pop. There we go. Alright, let's get our stuff. Okay.
I got good stuff, just nothing I was particularly excited about. The most exciting thing for me was all the chitin I just got so I could make it into paste. I made note of the cave and I bounced since there was also bats in here, which I was not equipped for if I got the rabies. Bag at base of Dodicarus was finally up and it wasn't great, but they do have huge stone weight reduction and that's all I really need it for. I'll just put all the points in the weight. So I crafted up the saddle and named it Lima Bean. It is now day 25 and I wanted more creatures to tame and to help me get ahead, and I believed I could do that with the Desmodus. They have great maneuvering abilities and you can shoot off the back of them, which could save me some time instead of having to build traps. I did have this thought a while ago and I actually started making blood packs, but I let the spark powder run out of my preserving bin, leaving me with barely one pack left. I need another way for blood packs, and I could accomplish this with the Lost Colony medical stand. I didn't have the polymer, but I had seen some penguins nearby. So I went on to take a quick look. And as usual, things aren't there when I go and look for them. This Ocedon is probably the culprit of that. So instead I decided to craft it, using up my precious paste. Then I got the rest of the packs I needed for myself to craft the medical stand. I could just place it outside, and the stand had the ability to attach to a creature, in which you could apply torpor, use stimulants to wake them up, heal them with blood packs, or what we wanted to do was to create blood packs. I attached it to one of my mini frogs and got it working.
Ooh, that's creepy.
I had more than enough blood packs now to tame any high level Desmodus. Now it was time to go off and explore more caves in an attempt to find one. I also had crafted some parachutes just in case I got dropped while taming one. I headed east to see what I could find. I found a cool little cave on the morning of day 26 that was pretty open on all sides. It had water along with some resources, and honestly, this was looking like a base contender. I kept pressing forward, and I was still in awe with how big this map is. Not just distance, but vertically though. I had to fly up along this element waterfall for what seemed like ages before finding a new ledge that I had to be careful about. Not only were there lots of bad creatures here, but I was also freezing for the first time in a while. I couldn't stay forever, but since it was my first time here, I had to at least explore a little bit. It's a good thing I did, as I found a cave, but it was tiny with nothing in it. I was really starting to think I was going to have no luck. While over here, I did come across one of the new dragons, the Aureliacs. From what I understand, these guys have a complicated taming process, and I don't know if I'd actually really need one during this playthrough, but we'll see.
A wingless dragon. Like something out of Chinese folklore. Seeing this has to mean good luck.
I kept flying upward and figured this would be my last shot in this area, as I was starting to die from the cold, and I was really deep in this territory with it only getting colder at night. My stubbornness finally paid off as I found another cave and I spotted a flappy flap in the ceiling. I wasn't quite sure what I was looking at.
What is that? Is that a Dreadmare? That's a Desmodus.
A 150 at that! Well, that was lucky. The first one I found and it was a 150. It was also stuck in the ceiling, which felt very arc. But that wasn't going to stop me from taming it. For Desmodus, you just need to let them pick you up while they eat blood packs from your inventory.
Here, pick me. Yes! Yes, we're taming it! It's happening! It's happening! We're taming it in the sky, in the wall. 150, Desmodus, baby! Okay, now I'm gonna fall forever.
Well, she ate them and then dropped me in the nether realm with her. I guess this is one way to tame them. I was worried about being stuck in the world, but I could call Hitori over and hop on him through the ceiling. I flew back up, poking my head through the rock to give her a nibble, and that's all it took.
There we go, we tamed it! We did it!
Now, the problem was exactly the same as before. She was still stuck. I don't know, I thought maybe she'd pop out or something. I also thought I was stuck too, but I managed to fall out of the ceiling using a parachute to soften my landing. I was racking my brain trying to figure out how to get her out when I was rudely interrupted.
Oh no! Here's another one. Another 150! Wow.
Had another 150 Desmo in here, but I couldn't play around too much as I was dying from the cold. Consumed some blood packs to help with my health a little bit before trying to get him to pick me up again.
Pick me up again. Come on. Pick me up again. No, pick me up. Pick me up. Come on. Maybe if I get on him, he'll pick me up again. There we go. Okay, we tamed him!
When I can get the other Desmodus out, I have a 150 breeding pair, but for now, I had to leave with this one as I was going to die very soon. I stopped for some stamina on the way back home, and right next to me was a 145 Doedicurus. So you're gonna come back home with me too. When I got back, I knocked it out. It was now day 27, and while waiting for the new Dicky to tame up, I took Lima Bean out to whack at some of the rocks. With those rocks, I started to make some building pieces. I was lacking on narcotics too, so I took corn nuts out to gather some berries. These things also serve the purpose of getting me more levels to be able to craft the Desmodus saddle. I spent most of the day doing the same tasks as well as taking out any nearby threats. While I was making paste, the Doedicurus tamed up. Totally unbothered Doedicurus tamed out with the exact same weight, despite being better efficiency. At this point, Lima Bean was better since I've been using them to gather rocks. Glad it wasn't too much of a waste of time. Well, at least after all that, I finally got a pupper with all the good stats. After today's grinding, I finally had enough levels for the Desmodus saddle, which wasn't too bad resource-wise. With the increased mobility, I'd be able to make some progress now. I ended off the night giving the names Captain Pace and Bruce to my frog and bat. On day 28, I took the duo out the next day for some serious pace getting. The swamps were lacking a bit, so I went to the cave I went treasure hunting in to take care of business there, and business was booming. I used the tactic of pulling all the mobs, then I'd loop back through and let Captain Pace get to work. I'd surely have to be pace rich now. I thought I'd have more, but for a few minutes of work, it really wasn't that bad. 300 was more than enough for what I need at the moment. It is now day 29 and I still wanted this fabricated crossbow, and it'd be better for me if I could find some of the creatures that give polymer so I didn't have to make it. The world kept letting me know that there were high level theories that needed to be tamed, and eventually I found a whole flock of penguins to take out. I decided to craft more paste when I was back home and flew around to pass the time, finding a 145 Megatherium that appeared to be stuck. I had to get this crossbow made. I hit some nearby obsidian rocks to help me make the rest of the polymer I needed for the fabricated crossbow. I then spent some time getting familiar with it.
It's like a Van Helsing kind of dealio. Look at this thing. This is like some crazy stuff. All right, I like the way it looks though. It looks really, really cool. We could do spread mode. Oh, then you get standard mode and marksman mode. So what's that? Ooh, we can snipe him from here. So now we should be in spread mode. That shot off like how many? Oh, that shot off 10 arrows. Can you do that with tranks? Can you shoot off 10 tranks? Does that work like that? 10 arrows into your face. You can. You could just shoot 10 trank arrows into something? That's crazy.
Now it was time to try it on that Megatherium. I could load tranks into this thing and load 10 shots at a time. 10 times the sleeping power. Well, that's if all 10 shots hit, but you get what I mean. Between that and the single shots, I had this Megatherium out in no time. Definitely a game changer, but wow, that damage to the crossbow was gross. Because I now had a Desmodus, I could also craft the Sanguine Elixir in its inventory, which gives 30% taming progress on the creature you're taming. Such a useful addition for people who don't like waiting long like me, because let's face it, waiting for creatures to eat the food you give them while they're sleeping is not only not safe, it's just boring. On day 30, I made some metal billboards this morning to help me trap other creatures, since they all won't be stuck between icebergs like that. I wanted to make the saddle for the Megatherium, but it needed 100 cementing paste. Yeah, that's not happening. It was up now, but I could not get it unstuck on whistles alone, so it looked like this is where it was going to live for a while. I remember there being another high-level Megatherium over by the swamp, and I went to go find it, but no matter where I looked, it seemed to have vanished, because that's usually how it goes. My search eventually led me to a spot where I spotted the 140 Thyla, and I decided to tame that instead. It was really rough because, like I said before, if they're aggro to you, they'll bleed you down so fast, and that's what was happening to me. I had to pick it up for as long as I could, and then I would drop it right before it killed Hattori. I then would heal up a little bit and repeat the process again. I was quite a distance away, so this was a pretty tedious process, which led into day 31. I was still bringing back this Thyla, and now I was getting distracted by all the local wildlife.
So fast. Oh.
I eventually got it close enough to my base I could kind of just lead it over the mountain. Then once it was close enough, I picked it up one last time and dropped it inside the pen. I used the rest of my fabricated crossbow, which it didn't take very many hits, but man, you don't get a lot of shots out of that crossbow. Thylas preferred cooked meat, so I had to try and find what prime I had to try and cook it up, and the rest of it was just going to have to be regular cooked meat. To try and speed things along, I did craft a Sanguine Elixir, and I also went back out to try and kill some things for prime. Not a lot of prime. So I waited. Just before the last feeding, I made a saddle and the thyla was ready. What do your stats look like? They are not great. Not great at all. I mean, I guess the stamina is good. Health is... melee is awful. Cool. Yeah, this wasn't a good thyla, but maybe the bleed alone would be the edge that we needed. I spent the rest of the night trying to get some levels on this thing to try and make it not so lappable. Probably didn't help that I named him Chester. It'll be all the more better when he proves himself. It was now day 32 and I had a stuck Megatherium problem I needed to solve, most likely with cryopods. And I needed more resources, so I wanted to take on one of those resource catches. I needed some strong dinos, and to do so, old Chester wasn't going to be enough. That's where the Theries came into play, and they were playing all over these lands. Didn't take long to find this 140 that I trapped with metal billboards playing a little ring around the rosy. There we go. Then I pelted it with a bunch of arrows into its dome until it was down. I had to run back home quickly to get berries and lots of narcotics since these guys can wake up kind of fast. I went back, took down my billboards, fed it, gave it some elixir, then put down some gates around it to try and protect it while it tamed up, since I wanted to try and look for another one. Close to where I'd seen my first high-level Theries, I found another 140 and this one was a male. I trapped it the same way and knocked them out. Now I had the task of babysitting these two since I didn't want to mess up this breeding pair. Theory 2 was uncomfortably close to a revenant area, so I stuck around watching the bars between the two. I saw a Mal went off in the distance getting closer and closer until I just had to deal with it for my first time. Okay, we gotta fight this thing.
Something terrible had to have been done to that poor creature.
It's too close to my stuff.
Involved in this environment.
This thing's teleporting and stuff. Man, die already. Jeez. Once the fight was done, I spotted a 145 Oviraptor baby, which could be good for dealing with all the eggs that I'm going to have. But I couldn't claim it. Oh wait, I don't think you can tame them, can you? I think you have to actually give them eggs. Run free, little baby. Theory 1 was getting low on torpor, so I threw some drugs at it to keep on sleeping. And now it was day 33, and I saw a 145 Oviraptor running around, and you know what? That's probably why I couldn't claim that little one earlier. And then I found another. I might still be able to claim that guy. And then Theory 1 was tamed. I hoped for some good stats. We got some good health on this one. Okay, the melee's okay. It's okay. I just brought Theory 1 over to help me babysit Theory 2. Meanwhile, this Oviraptor was just kind of bouncing around in front of me, and I decided to take it out so I can have a free egg picker-upper. Oh, I can claim it, yes! Unloaded some more narcotics into the Theory to keep it down, and I took care of a few more threats pretty quickly. And then the Theory was up. Wow, your health is bad. Your stamina's good. Your melee is bad too. So you're kind of a crusty one. I grabbed up the Oviraptor and led my Theories all the way back to base. And then I set them on mating right away. I took this time to grab up some metal with Mikey and came back to an egg. I wanted to try and hatch this thing up right away, but it was too cold in my hut. So I made a few standing torches and that did the trick. And shortly after figuring it out, I got a second egg. And then after some time, the first egg hatched. Here we go. We got a female with the bad health and the bad melee. Great. Then the second one hatched with stats that weren't too great either. The baby raising and hatching continued into day 34. I figured I just needed the numbers right now to do the resource drop, and I didn't really pay attention to the stats so much. In between doing things around the base, I would gather some nearby resources as well just to pass the time. I eventually made a Theory saddle for when they were ready, and I made another forge to speed up some metal smelting. I had gotten my first batch of Theories raised up by the end of the day, and I decided to take it out to smack some things in the mouth for levels. On day 35, I found a dung beetle roaming about, and I figured I'd tame it up to have another oil maker. Grabbed some poop from the others and quickly fed it. Very quickly, I had a little Theory army growing. I thought if I could get the health up over 10,000 with melee doing over 300 a shot, that would be okay, right? All the levels resulted in a lot of healing, so good thing I had the medical stand to do it quickly. While I was waiting for a couple others to raise, I went out to see what else I could find, and I saw a level 55 dire bear with a baby. Well, polymer was a problem for me, and someone told me that I could get polymer from the blue glowy plants in the purpley areas, and that dire bears would be the best to harvest it with. So grabbing this little baby would be the easiest way for me to do that, since I didn't want to go through taming a dire bear. While they were growing up, I went out to kill more things for blood packs to heal my dinos in the medical stand. Little morbid, but it was actually easier to have corn nuts donate to the cause. Speaking of mammoths, a 150 meandered its way close to the waters. Even though Cornuts was quite literally pulling his weight the entire time, it would be nice to have a better level mammoth. I considered taming it up while I crafted more Theory saddles. Then I guess the choice was made for me as it was all the way in my base now and I didn't want it to get mad on my spikes. I attempted to trap it with some billboards, but that didn't work out too well. Does billboards work on you guys? I don't think so. So I just ended up getting on Bruce and I just shot off the back until I took it down. Desmodus are the best. I made sure to put some spikes around it and I fed some bears before going back to my duties. It was now day 36 and I kept getting the blood packs for quicker healing, and this was a mistake.
Something attacking this. Something's attacking it. A Microraptor? Are you kidding me? Well, it's done then. Horrible taming effectiveness. There's another one. Another stupid stinky. I can't believe that.
Guess it wasn't meant to be.
Alright, well, it did just walk into my base, so... Rip.
I continued crafting, saddling, and healing on my Theries. I eventually got a mini army ready, consisting of Theries, Frogs, Bumblebrawl, Chester, and Hitori just in case things got dicey. Without cryos, I'd have to walk them to the cache. Fortunately, it wasn't too far away, but I made a mistake.
Oh, this one's a beta one. It was Gamma. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I thought this was a Gamma cache. Well, I already walked them over and prepared, and I desperately needed resources, so how much harder could beta be?
Alright. Mission is active.
Wave 1 immediately informed me that I had made a mistake.
Alright guys, let's go. Oh, those are high levels. Those are pretty high levels. Okay, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Alright. Doing alright. Oh, I'm getting frozen by something. Something's freezing me. More friends. Oh, that's it, Bumblebrawl. Get him. Get him. Oh no, Bumblebrawl's frozen! Oh, this is tough. This is tough. We got 3 waves of this nonsense. No, the frog. I don't know. What's everyone's health look like? Ooh, who knocked me off? I need to get a guy. Okay, I got Bumblebrawl. Ooh. Let's get back on the Thyla, come back here. Maybe I should be on a Theory. I feel like I feel a little safer on a Theory. Alright, that's the last one.
At this point, I wasn't commanding an army anymore. I was supervising a disaster.
Oh, no, 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 no. Uh-oh, how am I out of bounds? Oh, no. I don't think I've ever been in this ball before. Oh, no. Okay, we gotta get away. We gotta stay away from that Octodon. I feel like only the Theories can kind of handle that guy. Oh, this guy. He can knock us off. Okay, we gotta stay away from him. No, my other frog. Like, I might not be able to do this on this guy. One of my Theories died. One of my Theories died. We need more friends. Bumblebrawl died. Oh, I gotta get on Hitori. Another Theory's down. Hitori's looking bad. He's not looking good at all. Okay, you're really bloody. Come on, man. There we go. Alright, we gotta get Hitori because... Come here. Oh, all my Theories are dead. Ooh! Here came an aloe. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, no, 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 no. I need to get up here. Ah! I'm gonna die on this hill. Oh, this guy's gonna kill me. Hitori, come over here. Okay, wait. We're good. We're good. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're okay on him. But I don't think I have anything else.
It ended with a mission failed and only Hitori, Chester, and I made it out alive.
Man, I think if it was Gamma, I would have got it.
I dropped them back off at base and picked up Bruce so I could go back to the battlefield to retrieve any saddles, resources, and items that may have come out of this. Mostly grabbed a lot of hide, and even got a treasure map out of it. I don't think that was worth all this. By the time I build a strong enough army, will I even need the stuff in the cache? It was now day 37 and I came to the conclusion that I needed cryopods. This would allow me to move a little bit more freely and deal with more situations. At this time, I was told I can get cryopods in the caches, but clearly I wasn't ready for that. Another place was to go to the city where there were terminals where you can craft them. I had everything I needed with the exception of polymer. The dire bear was done growing and I thought I'm about to go on a polymer run, but that needed 100 cementing paste for the saddle. 100 cementing paste I did not have, nor did I want to make for the saddle. So that polymer idea went out the window. The whole thing with dire bears is they gather fiber, which would gather the polymer plants. Theories also gathered fiber, so would they work? I'd had to find out. So I made the small journey over to a purple area to go tickle some plants. As I got close, I had started my battle with some revenants. With them gone, I could tickle these little glowy blue plants in peace. I thought I was free picking, but I quickly got harassed by many more revenants that started to push me into the element.
Oh no. Oh no, don't push me in here. No, 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 no. I can't turn around. I wasn't able to move because of the weight, and it was looking pretty bad for me really quickly. Am I gonna get messed up? Am I gonna get messed up? Uh-oh. We gotta drop it. Let's drop everything. Yeah, let's just drop everything. Okay, okay, we gotta go. We gotta go. I'm gonna come back over here and like pull it. I thought Shiva's buddies were handling things, but they had their own problems. I grabbed what polymer I could and I booked it out of there. I repaired my gear, then I went back to pick up the rest of the polymer I got. Alright, that's all I need. I'm out. Bye. On day 38, I went on a treasure hunt to a new cave I haven't explored yet. There were the normal cave baddies and Desmodus, so I did have to be careful. While I was planning my strategy to get the map, I found some loot crates, which was so surprising to see since these were the first ones I had seen on this map. Alright, let's grab that. I landed within range of the treasure and I tried digging, but I guess I couldn't dig on a surface like this. I thought I was going to be able to avoid fighting. Let's do it like this. There we go. Bop. Ba-ba! Okay. The treasure wasn't anything I needed, but this cave seemed to be spawning loot crates, so I stuck around for a little to see if there were more crates to be looted. Blinding me. There's so much stuff here. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. This was not the way. Definitely was not the way. Eventually I got tired of being chased by bats and I made my exit. Oh wait, I was supposed to be getting cryopods. See how easy it is for me to get distracted? I went on a quick crystal gathering run and I added another smithy, mostly for storage and for some crafting. On day 39, I finally made my way towards the city to find these terminals. Alright, this is the closest I've been to this place. I do know that you can't fly here, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get grounded somewhere, and I'm not exactly sure where there's a terminal or not. It looks like you can enter in down that way, or you can enter over there. Because I don't want to just, like, fly in and fall off. I have no parachutes or anything. And that would be very, very bad. I wouldn't be able to get back. I would not be able to get back at all. I'm not trying to do anything bad, I promise. I just want some cryopods so I can move along in my journey, please. I kept cautious and I moved through a small abandoned village that led up to a round pointy structure. Inside there was a teleportation pad, which I assumed brought me into the main city. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. No, 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 no. I spotted a little computer and found that this was a terminal. I don't want no trouble, so I crafted up 5 cryopods since that's all the resources I had for it, and I left. Once I teleported out, I was actually pretty close to a river that supposedly had beaver dams. I needed pace, so it was worth a look-see. I think beavers are a lie. I was also close to my old friend Desmodus number 1. You know, the one I tamed way back when that wanted to stay stuck up in the mesh. I had a difficult time getting the positioning right. I probably should have brought grapples, but I could hang with my Desmodus to try and cryo it. There were a couple times I was close, but realized this wasn't happening. I tried to relog in the area, and that didn't help either. On a map where vampires exist, surely ghosts do too? On my way back home, I spotted a Diplo with a kid. Now, why would I need one? Well, they're massive with lots of health, and that means lots of blood bags. Right now, this baby was getting a beatdown from Muscular Grimace. I didn't want it to kill the baby, but I couldn't pick it up with the Desmodus, so I ran home real quick to get Hattori to do the heavy lifting. When I got back, it looks like that big purple toe ate the baby. So, I thought that was it. But then I found another Diplo with a baby, which I took out and grabbed up the baby, claiming it once we landed. 8,000 health, that's a lot of blood bags. Now with cryopods in hand, I can finally free my Popsicle Megatherium from the frozen prison. I then threw out the female Desmodus to compare stats, and she had high stamina and weight. I had hoped to get a baby with all these stats on one. Named her Talia and got them going. To pass the time on day 40, I crafted up more building pieces and an industrial grill, since it's been kind of annoying cooking up meat to this point, especially raw, prime meat. Bats are mammals, so I had to wait for Talia to give birth. I mostly got some metal smelting and did some organizing around the base until she was ready. And what do you know? This baby got all the worst stats. So I had to try again. Stayed around base doing a lot of the same chores and gathering until another one popped out with all the better stats. I decided this was good for now and I named him Damien. I could still have them breed for more babies just to have some backup since I don't know what else this map is going to bring. I spent most of day 41 smelting, organizing, and taking down creatures for blood packs. I had to wait for little Damien to raise up, but as soon as he was done, it would be time for me to move to a more permanent base location. I started to cryo up some of my utility dinos, and then I made my way over to the new base spot. It was a location I had shown already, but this place would be great for having a nice base. And it had a little cave under the platform I could use to store dinos. So this is a spot I want to build in. I thought it was kind of a pretty cool area. There's a little cave and stuff under here, and it doesn't seem like anything bad spawns in here. It's also kind of
kind of closest to the middle of the map. I mean, not that close, but way closer than we used to be. We used to be all the way in the corner, you know? And we have a little waterfall, which I always enjoy a waterfall. But this one's not loud. They're always loud, it seems. They're always super, super loud. I threw out the mammoth, and then I had to wait for the cryo timer to go down, which shouldn't be on here because I usually play with it off. Then went outside to see what the local neighborhood had to offer and immediately found a level 150 mana garmer. That might be what I need to get around this map more efficiently. There were also Rexes, which could be good for some big fights coming up. I wanted to try and block the area with gates because I heard some manas about, but I underestimated the size of these openings. So I threw out the rest of the dinos and just hoped for the best. On day 42, I picked up some more dinos back at my old place, as well as made some trank darts because I wanted to tame that mana I saw. I dropped off another dino and went searching. It literally was right outside, but as usual, I can never find the things I want when I need them. Found like every other creature except this mana. Spent all day looking, and when I finally found it, it wasn't the right one. You're not the one I was looking for. Oh, this thing was just taunting me with the other level 150s. Are you the one? No, 95. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with the things halfway across the map. That one just showed up, and I don't even know where it came from. Day 43 was mostly spent looking for the mana I swear I saw, but I only found lower leveled ones. So I took myself back home to cryo more teams and load up what I could use. On day 44, I had loaded up more building pieces and some of the harder to get resources on my flyers, and I was off. It was a stormy, foggy day, which I don't think helped with Hattori's speed at all. Once back to my cave, I made a small crafting area to work out of and made an area for the dung beetles to frolic in. Go on, frolic. I then continued my search for a decent level mana, but instead found other high level dinos, including a dragon who tried to drop me out of the sky. What? Luckily, it wasn't forever. I finally found a 145 mana with a baby in an area that wasn't as bad as some of the others. Now this would be my first time ever taming one of these, as I've never even tamed them, even all the way back in Ark Survival Evolved. I'd seen they could be trapped using large bear traps and dino gates. So that's what I tried. It attacked me almost right away when I peeked over and I tried leading it into the traps, but like a dingo, I got myself stuck. It's up here. Okay, I might be able to do this. Get stuck. Why are you not stuck? Oh no, I trapped myself. I didn't know that could happen. But being the opportunist I am, I figured while it was bullying my bat, I'd try and trap it. And that didn't work. It darted up to attack me again, and this time it got itself stuck, in which I tried to gate it, but my gate skills were pretty much non-existent. 2, 3, 4. Are you stuck? You might be stuck. That might be it for you. No! It seemed to have no problem walking through the gates when I was under the impression that it would just try to jump again. I finally freed Damien and resorted to trying to shoot off the back to knock it out. Darted away for a moment, and that's when I put my last bear trap down. I had so many gates placed around this thing, I just started shooting. The gates kind of made a wall in between us, and I eventually got stuck again in the bear trap. I tried picking it up and placing another gate down, hoping that would be enough to secure it. It wasn't, and I had no more traps, so we were going to have to be messy about this. Like it wasn't already messy enough. My tactic of using the gates as protection was working until it decided to flee, and the chase was on. It was annoying because it was heading off into a more dangerous area, so I had to stop to take these dinos out just in case it fell asleep there. And while I was taking out one of the bad things, this happened. Where did it go? Did it knock out? Oh, it knocked out. Oh no. Oh no, you stupid thing. Stop, 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 stop. Oh no. Oh, I know, I whacked it a couple times too, but that wouldn't have happened if that ice head didn't show up. So now I debated whether I wanted to tame it up. I don't even know if I want to do it. Oh, that sucks. And that led into day 45. I figured since I went through all the trouble, I might as well, even though it was going to be a way lower level than it should have tamed out. So I grabbed some prime from a nearby Rex and fed it, staying by its side until it woke up, as I didn't want to take any more chances. I didn't even bother checking the stats when it tamed because I was still emotionally recovering from the experience. I went back to the area I first saw it, and there was the 145 male mana baby. It wouldn't tame out with high levels, but this one would be imprinted. And if I found a better mana down the line, I could breed for better stats since I would have a male and a female. I see the little baby. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. They can do that. Come here. Come here. It's okay.
It's okay. I'm stuck in the tree. Now I'm stuck in the tree. I'm pulling a mana. Took a few tries to catch this little booger because they fly around like little idiots like their parents, but I eventually got it. I crafted a saddle and slapped that bad boy on to see the awesome power of the mana armor. Oh, only 90. That's it? That's not great. I thought these guys were better. Maybe I just didn't know how to use it right? While I was figuring out how the controls work, I could only wonder if I had wasted my time looking for one of these guys. I put her away for now and made a feeding trough to feed all these dinos. Went out to check the area I wanted to build in to see how I wanted to lay things out, and I was taunted by a 140 mana in the distance. I have to go talk this over with the beetles to see if this is worth doing again. Just hanging out with my dong beetles. And on day 46, the beetles told me to do it, so I grabbed some gear for trap and set out. Just like usual, in Ark, by the time I found it, it was already lunch for this Rex. I was over this for now, as it was time to start my base. But first, I would need to clear out the area where I wanted to build. I brought each specialist up to claim its resource, figuring this would be a good time to smelt some metal as well. On day 47, I got distracted by a 150 mana with a baby, and I had to try and tame this one. I tried to trap it on its little rock, and of course it jumped out. I thought it got stuck under a rock, and I tried to block it, but it just weaseled out. So I attempted another bear trap with gates, and it just wasn't working. Oh, not stuck. Then something weird happened, and it decided it was going to float to the heavens. Well, I took this as an opportunity to pump it full of darts. You're bugged up, so... It fell suddenly, and now it was a water ferret, which made it so much harder to shoot at. Are you stuck again? Okay. It's too fast. It's too fast. It's stupid. As I thought I got the hang of it, another mana joined into the game, and I was like, well, he can get some of the darts too. This was just too annoying to deal with too, so I got rid of the one and focused on the 150, eventually knocking it out. Unfortunately, it was in the water. Did you die? Oh, it died. It drowned. Oh, this is so stupid. I'm done with these guys. I'm done with them. I'm done with them. I thought it would eat faster than it would drink itself to death, but yeah, it drowned. At least the baby was free. On day 48, I finished up cleaning the area where I wanted to build, which was surprising considering I was getting bothered by a barrage of manas. Where were all these guys a week ago? Even more high levels, but I'm convinced with the way I was taking them down so quickly, they might not be the move for missions. So, onto my base build for now. I thought I would use the template hammer released with the Lost Colony package months ago, but since this was the map it was supposed to be for, I figured it'd be fun to try. I always feel like I never have enough time to build anything nice in 100 days videos, since I'm kind of a messy builder and I change my mind a lot. So I built what I wanted on a separate world, then saved the structure, allowing me to build without constraints while still being my own. It took me a little bit to get the proper placement down, but once I did, it told me all the pieces I would need to complete the build, and automatically started filling them in. I think that might be it. It would stop when I needed to drop down some more pillars for support, so I just manually placed those ones. On day 49 I was still building, but at a certain point another mana attack resulted in my dinos flying off the edge, which put me in a little bit of a pickle. Uh-oh, that was bad. Gotta go down there and save Lima Bean. $140? Jeez. Get out of here.
Oh yeah!
I think this is the way I gotta do it. I gotta try and find... Where'd my bat go? Damien was on a different whistle command and left me stranded. I tried taking up Lima Bean, but I got stuck. So I just pulled my implant to respawn and I grabbed Vittoria to save the day. I had the dinos out for resources, but they looked more like mana bait. Best to put them underneath and away for now, as my platform was now finished, making the rest of the build hopefully will be smooth sailing. And on day 50, I finally got to build in my base.
Now that I leveled up my living situation, it was time to level up my muscle situation. I just hit the level to be able to make some Bioshock darts, which would make taming much faster. I remember picking up some blobs in my looting, and I could have sworn it was biotoxin, which I needed for the darts. Not the right kind of blobs. Fortunately, there was a special tree in the swamp that gave biotoxin, as well as mushrooms and fungal wood. I made as many darts as I could with the toxin I harvested. It was going to take some time to craft all those, so during that time, I brought over some structures I needed to outfit my new fortress. I then made another trip back to load up all the rest of my things on the various Desmodas I had. This continued into day 52, grabbing more creatures and items to bring to the new base and place down. I had some brushes I found in a drop, and I spent a little time fixing some of the structures that didn't copy over when I was using the template. It was now day 53 and all the Bioshock darts were done being made, and now it was time to go find an Octodon, because I think that's what I needed to get moving here. And in the usual Ark fashion, as soon as I looked for something, I couldn't find what I was looking for. I searched all the usual spots I saw them in, and nothing. I'm telling you, they were literally terrorizing me all the time when I lived in the bottom left, and now gone. Searching day after day after day, until finally on day 56, a low level 25 made an appearance. I thought maybe my spawns were broken, so good to know they weren't. I mean, that is kind of a low level, so I guess that's a little broken, and not in the good way. Shortly after, I found another 25. Am I cursed to only have 25s? I guess not.
What level's this guy over here? He's over here messing with stuff. What level are you? Ooh.
Okay, now we got something. So their taming method is a little different than the usual. You have to start inducing torpor with, in my case, shock darts. And when it reaches about half, you then have to ride them, collecting the amount of icicles and creatures it requires in under the time limit.
Let's start this. We gotta make our way over here, though. Okay, so now we have to collect all these little icicles and stuff. Oh, he's slow. Alright, so we'll collect some icicles and we'll keep moving in this direction. That is a critter right there. Yes. Yes. Alright. Alright. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
I had to do this whole process 3 times. It would have been 4, but I used a sanguine elixir right before my last ride.
There we go. Oh, we got it.
It tamed it with a bunch of Callies attacking it, so I had to help since I didn't want this guy dying as soon as I got it.
Okay. Okay, we're doing okay. Ooh! We're not doing okay. Okay. We did it! We did it! We did it! We did it!
I was heading back to my base, and on the way I saw a female 145. That would be my mating pair. But I had to go back and replenish my taming equipment. I made sure to stop at some biotoxin trees to get some more of that, because even with the shock darts, a high-level Octodon took a buttload of them.
Alright, don't you disappear on me, don't you die on me.
On day 57, the area near my base, I found a level 55 Octodon there. I knew they spawned here, but I wasted literally hours earlier because they were on vacation. While repairing my equipment and making more darts, I took out my Octodon to check out the stats.
And I need a bigger base automatically.
I didn't really know what I was looking at since this was my first one, but the point distribution seemed pretty average. This is how you can tell. As I was leaving to go back for the other one I saw, there was another one right outside my base.
What level are you? 150 female. So do I want to go back and go tame that other one? Like, oh, that's a 150. That's a 150, but, you know, I mean, that one was a 140 and its stats weren't that great. This 150 could have, like, you know, pretty dookie stats. Also, it's around a lot more dangerous stuff. I think I might take my chance with the 145 back in the other area. But, I mean, if we need to, we have this 150 here. But I'm going to have to do a little bit more gathering and harvesting to get some more trank darts and stuff like that.
I went back to the 145 and started the taming process, which was good until it wasn't.
This should be it. There it is. There it is. Okay, we gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here. Oh, it's chasing us. We gotta go. We gotta go. Oh, God. Oh, no. This could be it for me. Oh, no. This is it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Am I gonna lose my Desmodus? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I gotta try and get back here, respawn here. Do I have anything I can ride? I don't have anything I can ride. I gotta just try and get my stuff back. Okay. I have to just try and get my stuff back. Let's go, we gotta run back there. This is actually really, really bad.
So I booked it over, naked and afraid with Veilwinds and a buddy.
Oh, that was so stupid of me. That's so stupid of me.
Luckily, I didn't run into any other problems and I was able to safely get Damien back as well as my bag. So now at this point, I knew to try and get knocked off when the Octodon was distracted so I don't get clapped again. The rest of it went smoothly, and with that, I had completed my pair. This one also had average stat points with some dipping on the low side. If I wanted to try again, I could always tame one of the many 150s outside my base now.
Are you serious? There's 2 of them. So this one showed up this 150 over here, and then I thought this was the one that I saw before, but it's another 150 female Octodon. I can't.
On day 58, I threw out the female Octodon and I got them to mate. While that happened, I decided to add some water to my place. Yeah, I could go down to the caves each time, but sometimes I didn't feel like leaving the base since there was manas about all the time. I placed an intake in the water in the cave and then the tank outside, which gave me a small area I could put the water in. So I just placed the tap on the window and boom, now I had water. I then made an Octodon saddle since they were actually pretty cheap considering, and I was going to be riding one of these bad boys soon. While I was looking up to see what I needed, the baby dropped.
Look at this little thing. Wait. Alright, it's as big as a dung beetle. That's funny. Oh, look at this thing. You got all the poopy stats? Come on, I can't catch a break, man. Yeah, you really did. You really did get all the bad stats.
This baby didn't get great stats, but maybe they were one of those creatures that gained a lot when it's leveled. To test it, I went over to one of the parents to put a level in health, and it jumped almost 1,300 points. It would be tough to get these guys at some boss level stats. I'd have to raise up a lot of them and I still needed space. But for now, I was excited to try one of them out since it would be my first ride.
Alright, let's go clap some cheeks here. I mean, this is one way to clear out the backyard here. Alright. I mean, that's not bad. 290? 290 and then a double clap? Okay. And that's at 458. Okay, let's pump that up. Let's clap this Rex. 486. That's pretty good. Almost 1,000 damage with the double hit. That's pretty nasty. Boom, boom, boom. How does it break? Oh, I just pressed C again, and everything breaks. That's pretty crazy.
On day 59, I was thinking it was getting a little too cramped for the baby Octodon, so I was going to need to make an area they can raise up in safely. I actually had tried a couple of builds in another world where I was going to add onto the backside of the fortress, creating a massive pen. But I guess there were limitations on the template tool, as it would only copy part of the build. I tried a different shape build and it had the same problem. Now of course I could build it in the old-fashioned way piece by piece, but the problem was time. Gathering the pieces wouldn't be so bad, but some of the way I made the stat points took a lot of time to line up. Time I felt like I just didn't have. I was going to have a lot more work ahead of me, so I decided against the whole thing, because luckily I live over a cave system. I figured I could just gate off the openings with behemoth gates.
Probably need like 2 here, probably 1 here.
I would also need a platform so none of the babies ended up drowning. So I got to work in gathering the resources that I needed. I lined up the gates at the entrance and they filled up the space pretty nicely. I put another at the back door, then I tried to plug up the waterfalls, but I couldn't get a good surface to put the gate on. This should be okay since nothing ever really comes in from this side. I didn't have much space to store stuff and I wanted to make a vault in which I needed polymer. Polymer was also needed for the chemistry bench. So I set off to a nearby purple area and I found a safe little cave with blue polymer plants which I gathered with a theory. On day 60 I crafted the chemistry bench and a vault for storage. Placed down the vault, adding the Lost Colony skin which looked kind of out of place with the color even though the structure was really cool. Then placed down my chemistry bench. I looked at the other industrial items and was trying to figure out if I wanted the forge or the grinder next. I didn't have much stuff to grind, but it wouldn't be a bad move to gather the resources for one. Although the forge was cheaper to make, I was having the most trouble with metal smelting at the moment since every time I build anything, I take all the wood from my forges. Yeah, I know I can use spark powder, but 1, I don't want to gather the resources to craft it, and 2, wood makes charcoal which can be used for gunpowder to make bullets. One thing I did need to craft was cementing paste. With the power of the chemistry bench, I'd save on materials and get more out of the same stuff. Even with taking everything I had, I was still a little short on pace, so I have to find some more bugs to take out. The platform was a little bit more important for the moment, so I made some more pieces for it. And shortly after, another baby popped out, and this one came out with the better stats from both parents. I named it Duggo Baby. I then liberated the dung beetles from some of their poop to make space for more oil. Then got to work on a platform in the cave for the Octodons, which took me most of day 61 to build the platform. See why I didn't want to build the rest like this, lining it up piece by piece? It takes too long trying to place things sometimes, and this was just a simple circle. I'd have to stop at times to take care of some of the babies and move them downstairs, and also just to craft some more pieces. Then I ran out of thatch to craft, so I grabbed some by hand and discovered that these trees gave sap, which is useful to know. On day 62, I finished up the platform, along with skinning it in the morning. This should be plenty big. One Octodon had some pink on its face, so that meant a mutation. It didn't have the good stats and the mutation was in weight, but I'd keep it around just in case I wanted to use this colorly. That's kind of cool. I did get another good baby though with the good stats. Down below there was some Gamma Tower mission I was working towards, but it was still going to take some time to raise up a little army. Between going back and forth, I found a 140 Rex wandering around outside. This could also be a good contender. I used billboards to trap it, and it didn't take long to knock out with the shock darts. Fed it some prime from one of the little babies running around, and because this was such a bad area, I didn't want it to get messed up, so I just waited. I was getting nervous as an Octodon was slowly gravitating towards me and the Rex, but it eventually tamed up on day 63. Let's take a look, Stir. You got high health, and your melee is awful. Awful! And high food. Fat baby. Alright, so this isn't a great Rex at all. Well, I could keep it around in case another high level shows up and ends up being something. I led the Rex back in the cave and then went back out to scoop the area and saw a Manta attacking Novus, who just happened to have a kid. I'm not going to say no to some free mutton and baby chops. When I was bringing the baby back, I got attacked by another Mana. Get out of here. Ooh. Safely inside, I cooked up the mutton. I was mostly waiting right now for metal to smell, Octodons to pop out and grow up, so I decided it was time to address the local Mana infestation. Look at this thing. And by deal with it, I mean tossing them over the cliff. Bye, loser. Blink. Get out of here. I'm gonna have to deal with all that stuff when I go to the bottom, though. Oh my gosh, there's another one. It's now day 64 and I needed more paste for industrial items, so I was going to take Captain Paste to a cave for some bugs. On the way, I found something interesting. Oh, it's an Alpha Octodon. Oh, I was gonna go get some ending paste, but is that something I need to kill? That might be something I need to kill, probably. So I went back for some more Octodons and I found I got another good baby. G is for girl, I guess, so it works out. I used the medical stand to do a little bit of healing for some of the Octodons I had raised already. Then I had a bit of a mess in the end of the tunnel since I couldn't comfortably get these guys out. I'm gonna take 3 Octodons with me and hopefully this is enough. Can I get out? Am I stuck already? This isn't good. I'm already stuck. No, come on. I eventually managed to wiggle some free, and because of an attack, some of the other dinos decided to move forward and push it out as well. Figured this couldn't be too bad, and rolled out with a couple Octodons, a Mana, and Bruce. We'll give you a whack, and then we'll try to bring you over. Okay, kill that guy. Okay, we're in it now. We're in it. This thing's massive. Oh no, Bruce! Where's the rest of our guys at? Oh, okay. I think we'll be okay. Okay, yeah, we got some freezing going on. That's not our guy, but that's okay. I'll take the help I can get. Oh no, the Mana. Oh, we got him, we got him, we got him. We did it. Well, we lost 2, but we managed to take it down. Probably because these 2 thought they were both tanks. But that's okay, as I finally had my good stat breeding pair of Octodons. Hope was to dominate with whatever these guys would produce. On day 65, my pace problem continued, and I had a thought. I always forget about this. If I make a chainsaw, I could probably get a lot more chitin from that than if I try to go to a cave and try to kill bugs there, and yeah. I mean, that's how you do it on Scorch, so it does make sense. So I headed down to see what I could find. Oh, these are all the manas I threw down here, so there might actually be no bugs down here, so we might have to look how many manas there are. I threw all these guys down here. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to deal with that later, and I guess later is now. Manas aside, instead of bugs, I found a Dedicarus, which give keratin, and that would also work as well. How much keratin are we gonna get? We saw a lot more keratin than we normally would get. Yeah, for sure. It's not bank breaking, but more than I normally get. I still needed bugs. As I searched, I found something disappointing. Are you serious? What makes it change colors? Come on, man. I'm not gonna be able to take that out. It was Gamma before, for the longest time. Now it's Alpha. Well, luckily my dissatisfaction turned into satisfaction as I found a spider to solve. Oh, that's it. That's the tactic. That's the plan. I should have been doing this the whole time. I don't know. I never think of it because you know what? I forget chainsaws exist every single time. And every time I discover them again, I'm like, wow, this is the best thing that ever happened to Ark. I also found a Gamma outpost, which is good news because I wasn't sure how I was going to bring a small army of Octodons anywhere with them being as slow as they are and me only having 5 cryopods. I turned my attention from bugs to beavers as I believe these were the first ones I had seen. And where there's beavers, there's usually dams. There's a dam right there. So I'm pretty sure, or is that a rock? No, that's a dam. As soon as I saw the beaver, I knew they had to go because I had to plunder the rarest possible thing on Lost Colony for pace. And what I get? A whopping 64 pace. Looks like it was back to bugs. But for now, I headed back to base to receive my first baby from the new Octodon line. Then went upstairs to craft as much pace as I could. I received 2 alpha skulls from defeating that alpha Octodon before, and I wanted to mount one. Turns out I read it wrong because it was just a trophy. Alpha skull. Is it not like that? Oh, are you kidding me? It's like a drop. So I can't even look at it. So we didn't even get anything. Add another disappointment to the list. Turns out I can only rely on Mikey. I kept the pace grind on day 66 for the Industrial Forge since I was going to need a bunch of Octodon saddles now. And it doesn't stop there, as I needed more metal and crystal for this thing. I pretty much obliterated all the nodes in the cave to put towards better living. I had all my refining forges smelting to try and get the bigger boy that much sooner. Then I went out to go find more creatures to kill for Carrot and Chitin. My plans to take out this other outpost might have to change. Are you kidding me? Now it changed again to beta. At least the game decided to bless me with a beaver dam with a whopping 85 pace in it. Finally got enough together on day 67 to craft the Industrial Forge, which I used to replace all the refining forges that I had. Placed it down in the corner. I then moved the smithy over just a smidge so it looked a little bit better in this corner. I needed to make at least 4 Octodon saddles, but I only had enough metal for 1. So the farming continues. Not only did I need it for saddles, but I figured it would also farm for the grinder as well. But it seems I have exhausted all my bug buddies as I couldn't find any anymore, and the beavers weren't producing dams. I kept pushing forward until the biome shifted as it didn't look like I was going to find what I needed, but this area was really nice. On day 68, I thought maybe the beavers that were constantly swimming were making dams underneath the water. So I took a little peep in photo mode and found nothing. Then I thought maybe they needed to be on some land to make the dam, so I tried to pull aggro, but they didn't want anything to do with me. I'll just get them to come over here a little bit. No, they don't care. I got blessed with a few bugs on the way back, and they contribute to my growing pile of smushed bug remains. I now had enough metal to craft the rest of the saddles I needed. Then started to sort through the ones I wanted to take by putting the saddles on. I put some on the ones that didn't come out as strong, but they had already gained levels back from when I fought the alphas. It was going to take some time to level up these creatures, but this was good for now. Put them in cryos to have to heal them up quicker because even though I had the medical stand with the blood packs, it still took a lot to heal a creature with this much health. When I went to check on the beavers for dams, I found a 150 mana armor that appeared stuck. Now, I know I went through the whole thing with these guys, but eventually I would need to go to the city where I couldn't fly. It would probably be good to have one of them. So I started to trank it out, which was pretty easy with the shock darts. Of course it passed out in the water, and while I scrambled around to try and give it an elixir, as well as find some raw prime meat, it drowned. Oh, it just died. Never mind. Well, in that amount of time I was messing with the mana, there happened to be another dam that spawned, giving me a little bit more pace. Been a while since I've seen some Ankies, but these guys will give me a lot of keratin as well. Wasn't so sure about the kids though. They do too, just not as much because they're small. Because of the chainsaw, I got enough prime meat to probably last me the rest of the playthrough. I cooked it all as soon as I got back. On day 69, there was more metal runs, more cementing paste, and then a floating little mutated baby. Of course, it wasn't a stat I didn't need, but I thought maybe I might put the 2 colors together. Mutation and food, of course. Yeah, I mean, this one's got some green on it and stuff, so, you know, I'll keep one of those. Got more crystal for the grinder. Then I made the decision to start cleaning up these Octodons I didn't need. So I made a kill gun and then discover I had myself a little farm right here. But you get a lot of keratin from these guys too. I had a keratin farm down here the whole time. I also later discover I had killed the pink Octodon I wanted to keep for colors, so yeah. Could only soothe my sorrow by getting more metal. I had to keep taking Mikey further and further away, and it meant I had to deal with some more bad manas. Alright buddy, this one's gonna learn today. You're gonna get wrecked. Wreck 'em. On day 70, I got a green-bellied Octodon with mutation and weight. I don't know if I'll get a single mutation in a stat I want, but that's not going to stop me from trying. I need more metal, Mikey, and so I took him to a neat-looking cave, which also had a wormhole. What just happened? That was weird. What? What was that? So I headed back trying again and it threw me out again. It did it again. That's so weird. Well, wormholes aside, I unloaded the metal and that should be enough to get me the grinder. Since I was waiting around for things to either smelt or grow up, I figured I'd fix some of the blemishes on my base with the paint gun. Oh my gosh. On day 71, I was sorting through all the different Octodons I had, and I was starting to feel overwhelmed with the task of growing and leveling all these guys up. So to help with that, I thought it was finally time to get myself a Drakeling. Drakelings are a shoulder pet that collect XP while you're out fighting, crafting, and doing whatever else you need to do to gain XP, eventually turning that XP into loot keys. Even though I was getting pestered with Drakelings earlier, they are kind of hard to spot right away. I figured a gene scanner could maybe help out with that. You select the dino you want to find, and it points you in the right direction. It does have a limited range, but I figured I'd head off into the areas I was assaulted in before to find one. I had to dip to the polymer cave real quick to gather some black pearls for the scanner, and I crafted it. I had to remember to bring a torch as well, since Drakelings seem to love fire, but who wouldn't in this frozen hellscape? I wanted to find a high level because not only could I keep it alive longer if something happened, but it also affects the boosted rate in which you can collect XP. I had to go through a few levels before finding a 150 Drakeling. 150! There we go! Now this would be my first time ever taming one of these, but it wasn't too bad of a process. You light your torch to signal it to come over, and then you do what it tells you to do. It first wanted me to harvest, so I gathered fiber because it's light and easy. Then I fed it some cooked lamb chop. Then it demanded blood. So I had to go find something to kill. I wanted to find something easy, but the closest thing to me was the stego. Figured I could take it out. Maybe, maybe not. It's slow. It's slow. I think we can kill it. All right. Oh, this could be bad. We gotta go. Okay. We're doing okay. We're doing all right. All right, I got a little scared. Ooh. Oh. Oh, he falls off. Oh. Well, jumping on my Desmo caused the Drakeling to jump off. So now I know. Once everyone chilled out, I could start the process again. It wanted me to gather again, and I was pushed towards these rocks that I hit with my pickaxe until I could feed it. All right, and then I could feed it, and then that's it. Oh, you're cute. You're a cute little baby. I could have just put it on my shoulder, but I wanted to find it a mate just in case things go south, so I cryoed it for now. My Drakeling search continued into day 72. If I didn't have the scanner, I don't know if I would have been able to find the next one. It was literally in the same area, but I was roaming around in circles trying to find this 145 male. I decided to start a fight with a stego, but I guess it got a little too spicy because it ran away. I made sure to get rid of anything that could be problematic this round. Once it was out of danger, I started the taming process again. Okay, so you want me to gain harvest experience, so let's harvest some bushes again. Then I had to craft stuff. So I started up the old hat business again, but it wasn't doing that much progress. I had to pivot the business model, and well, now I make pants. We got 30 seconds, hopefully we can make it. Oh, it's cutting it close, it's cutting it close. Come on! I had seconds left, a dragon judging me, and a dream stitched together with emergency pants. Oh, I did it. The thing too is I made it just in time before the timer ran out. I put them on my shoulder and I headed back to get some even smaller dragon babies. Didn't take too long for an egg to pop out, but it was too hot. I thought maybe if I brought it into the cave, it would work since it was a little bit colder down there. It didn't work, probably because of all these Octodons' hot breath. I made an air conditioner and somehow it still wasn't enough, which was strange. So I made some more. It was then I realized my mistake. I'm stupid. I didn't make a generator. That would probably help. Yeah, it's almost like you kind of need power for these things to work or something. So I crafted a generator, and what do you know? The eggs started incubating. They hatched in the early morning hours of day 73 with a fun surprise. All right, here we go. Oh, we got twins! Oh my goodness, we got little baby twins. They're so cute. How am I supposed to claim you? You're so tiny. Look at these little baby. Double twins! What are the odds? All right, well, we gotta wait for these guys to raise up, and then we'll take one of them to actually level up our stuff and maybe get some loot. They look like they're scheming. Oh yeah, that's another thing Drakelings do, is they can give you some pretty good loot if you gain XP with them, unlocking certain loot qualities at different amounts of points. They look like they're praying to me, they're worshiping me. I was hoping because of the atrocities I was committing in this cave, I would eventually get paid in compensation for pain and suffering. Still a ways away off, these guys had to grow, and while that happened, another one joined the group. By the end of the night, I had some adults. I then went downstairs to see how much XP I would get per Octodon, and it was around 700. That would be a lot of Octodons I needed to kill. I went outside to see if it was any different, and I didn't get a lot. Then I took out an Alpha Rex and almost got nothing. Did we get a lot of XP? No! Okay, because we didn't get the kill on it, I guess. We didn't get any XP from that. What? Which made me wonder, did level matter? Did I have to get my own 2 hands dirty? Why is the Drakeling so greedy? This was a mystery for another time, as the bottom line was I still collect XP on it, and that would still help me in the future. I named them Momo. I spent the majority of day 74 gathering the last resources I needed for the grinder. Seeing all my unwanted junk in one spot, I actually had more than I thought I did. And now I have some more useful things. Days 75 and 76 were pure prep days. Bullets, guns, saddles, healing, leveling, blood packs, all the glamorous, super cool, interesting stuff that makes the behind the scenes stuff possible in these big fights. And it was now day 77, so the missions kept changing colors the past few days, and I was waiting for them to change green. It seemed like that wasn't going to happen. I thought maybe if I relogged it would change the color, but it only changed the type of mission it was. Shortly sometime after, the defense mission changed to gamma, and that was my cue. I took 10 Octodons hoping it was enough. I had 5 in cryo, so the others would have to walk down. I had to walk them over the cliff, and they went into the frozen stream down below. They were able to move pretty smoothly until I got hung up on some ice and a little lip not allowing them on land. They really can't get up over this little thing right here. And they can't get over the waterfall. This is so silly. So I threw out the ones I had in cryos in front of the mission area and I went back for the rest. While trying to wiggle one of them free, tragedy decided to clock in. Oh no, did it drown? Are you serious? I was like my highest level 1 too. Oh. Yeah, it just like pushed itself all the way under there. Oh, that's so stupid. All right, well, we're gonna have to take your saddle. So with 9 Octodons, I hoped this would be enough for my first mission. Lost King was not happy with the way his tower looked, so it was up to me to defend his stuff. Alright, here we go. Let's see what happens.
Just look at the sorry state of this place. Whatever killed my children might be on its way back to you even now. Better fire up some replicators and ready your fortifications.
Let's do plant species. I'm ready.
Don't let them wreck my property. There are things there more valuable than you.
Yeah, they're killing lots of stuff. Come on, I want a guy. Yeah, there we go. All right, that wave was defeated. All right, easy. Oh yeah, let's put a turret here.
With good old auto turrets. They carry on fighting for you and shoot holes through all your problems.
It was kind of rough, you know?
It can spit acid from beyond the range of your defenses, so you'll need to bring the fight to it yourself.
Yeah, get him, guys. Okay, they're handling stuff in the front. Oh, they're this thing. Ooh. Okay. Get it. I don't know if I should like try and shoot. Hit it. Ooh. Get in there. Okay. This is kind of crazy right here. Oh, it's melting that thing. Let's get it. Come on. All right, we got it. I ended up defeating my first mission and the loot was good. So we got some metal ingots. We got whatever this is, ramshackle curse flak boots. There's a few things in here like curse items. I wasn't really sure about what was going on there, but that's something for a later time. I also got some sigils which gave me access to the king's dungeon and something called red element. Oh, this guy was also mine now too. Oh, that doesn't seem right. I was getting used to having a roommate now on day 78. Oh, I don't know if I can handle you over here talking like that. Just whispering. Yeah, they talk to themselves a lot. Even though I got a couple cryopods from that mission, I decided I needed to go craft more since it wasn't really fun trying to bring a bunch of Octodons through obstacles to events, which was only going to get worse since I'd have to go further away. I left to head towards the city and spotted a level 95 snow owl with a baby. The medical stand was nice for heals, but it used a ridiculous amount of blood packs for one creature. Octodons have some big health pools. Snow owl could be useful in healing multiple at once, even with not so good stats. Cryopods first though. I didn't realize this was a thing here, so I could do some missions here too. And I don't have enough Octodons probably to take this one out, because if it goes to the end like the other one did... Yeah, I only have 4 with me right now. Once I was back at base, I led the snow owl into my base to knock it out. There we go. It tamed up pretty quickly on some lamb chops, and I quickly claimed the baby. I probably could have just killed the owl for the baby, but then it would have been floating around outside in the air forever. So this just ended up being the 2-for-1 special. On day 79, I started talking to my new roommate and ended up taking control of him.
You've taken your first thrall from me. I just hope you're ready for the responsibility. Heavy hangs the crown.
So small compared to me. What's this? Oh, you got a little crossbow. Okay. Oh, I can't level myself up when I'm in myself? Alright. I took my snow owl downstairs and I had to take care of a whole mess of neglected Ostodons. Then got to work on healing some. It was still slow, but I could heal 3 at a time. Once I was done, I packed them up and decided to head to the city, which hasn't been properly explored yet. As I made my way in from the bridge, one of the statues came to life. What are you doing? Do you do stuff? Level 1. Are you just a regular Megatherium here? Maybe? Oh, you're just a level 1 Megatherium. Okay. Well, I had brought my mana along, which wasn't very strong, so this was just going to be a scout mission. My plan was really to check stuff out, and I was told if I was chill, everyone else would be. But they lied. What's this about? Because I think that there's probably...
I warned you.
Oh, what?
Now my children
I didn't do anything!
not to disobey.
But I didn't...
Unless you can prove yourself against our revenant invader.
I didn't do anything, though. Okay, there's revenants about. Alright, so I guess we gotta fight these guys, because I was about to say, I didn't do anything at all. Oh my gosh, my mana is so weak. I was hoping I really didn't have to fight.
Isn't it so much easier to work for me rather than against me?
Okay, well, I wasn't doing anything, man. Like, I was literally just checking out your city, kept talking it up. I was like, you know, what's going on here? Okay, what's going on? Ooh! Why are they attacking me? Like, what's the deal? Yeah, there's so many different missions in here. Wow, that's kind of crazy, though. There's a lot of different missions, and I don't know what I did to upset anybody. Like, what did I do? I helped you with the poop guys, and you attack me? That's weird. That's weird behavior. Weird behavior indeed. They are really cool. Ooh! And everyone's angry at me already. This guy's got a shield? Oh, I don't think we're okay. Like, the city is cool, but man, they did not want me here. I don't know why everyone's so hostile. I didn't do anything. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, there's so many things. We need to, like, get out of here for a second, because, yeah, it was terrible up there. But I really wanted to check it out, so I teleported back in. Oh, they're all right here. They're just waiting. So it looks like I was going to have to fight my way through. I went back to the bridge and I busted out 2 Ostodons to roll through town, which was actually kind of tough since they were so darn big. So I put one away and kept pressing forward. So I'm just gonna, you know, they treat me like a criminal, I'm gonna act like one. Why not? I found a marksman hold mission I wanted to attempt, but the marker disappeared as I got close. I jumped down and I activated it in the process. Woo! Oh, I'm getting melted. I'm getting melted. Uh-oh. I didn't have a single moment to throw out more Ostodons, so I was left running away, trying to find a spot I could throw them out. This was even worse. I had to fight, but I was getting surrounded by all angles. And one guy's got a flamethrower and stuff? Oh, this is not good. This is even worse. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This guy with the flamethrowers, oh man. I didn't even have a chance to throw out another one of my guys. Eventually, I got enough peace to be able to toss my mana out, cryo my Ostodon, and dip. I didn't know what I was supposed to do there. I was just looking. I didn't want to give up just yet, so I headed back in on the mana, thinking maybe if I could get on the rooftop, I'd be able to throw some Ostodons out there. I just need a safe spot to, like, collect my bearings for 2 seconds before I try to throw stuff out. Jeez. Look at they teleport! Get out of here! Get out of here! I gotta get on a building and, like, throw my Ostodons out. This probably... And they teleport up here? Come on! I can't fight these guys. I can't fight these guys. No way. How are you supposed to do that? If I use a Thyla and, like, run around on that thing and then just chuck stuff out. that might be the way. Even though I wasn't really comfortable with it, the Thyla might be the way to go. So as I headed back on day 80, the Molten Works by my base was now Gamma, and I decided to do this mission instead. I unloaded my Ostodons I had in my pocket and I charged in. This mission was completely different. Instead of just defending a point, I had to push through turrets, enemy creatures, and the structures that needed to be destroyed. So the Ostodons handled crowd control while I ran around turning expensive machinery into very fancy rubble. It got to a point where I couldn't destroy this one structure, so I just started shooting at it with my shotgun to break it. Then once the last structure broke, the Forge Masters showed up and lit my army on fire.
Oh! Beat him up! Get him!
They melted him. Pretty fast, but that fire damage was nasty.
We did it, we did it, we did it. Loot!
I got a lot more loot from that in the form of blowing things up. It took me a while to haul all this stuff back, but when I got back, I found that I finally got a mutation in health. But with the way these Octodons are leveling up, I don't think I need crazy mutations to get to where I want to be. Plus, I've been kind of chaotic with the whole breeding process with them. So I'm going to raise this female to swap with the other one. I spent the first part of day 81 healing up the Dons. Then hung out with a new member of my house, Thrall Warden.
Oh, you got like a sword. Oh, he's like one of them tanky guys. Alright, he's a thick boy.
Once I was done healing, I set out to find some more Gamma missions to do. This was a Gamma Breeding Pits mission, which is similar to Molten Works. I had to attack and break structures until a boss appeared. I did get a little stuck at a certain point in which I was getting shredded by bullets. The group didn't like it either, as they were all huddled over across the field.
What are you guys all doing?
Eventually I found the generator responsible and I took it out. Once I did that, this guy showed up riding a giant bat.
How are we supposed to get this guy?
He kind of just stayed up in the air for a little bit, raining down bombs.
Does this guy land at all?
Guess he got tired of being a punk and slowly started to descend, in which the crew promptly beat him up.
Landon, get him! Get him! Beat him up! Yeah, beat him up! Now, oh, they beating him. It's not even fair.
I ended up getting a Thrall Herald and some loot based around taming. I wish I knew these things sooner, as this would have been really useful a while ago. The loot was nice, but what I really wanted was weapons and saddle blueprints. My Octodons were carrying these missions hard, and I'd rather they not do it with scrub saddles. I then went home to drop off all the stuff I got, which I'll be honest was a little annoying. Like, all the loot was awesome, but I could only hold so much before I had to leave to drop stuff off. I guess I should maybe only keep what I need, but the urge to grind the resources results in less farming for me later, in case I have to make some better saddles and armor. I ended off the day with crafting a bookshelf to hold all my newly acquired blueprints. Day 82 started with more friends, and this one had a flamethrower. I know these guys could be useful for something, but I wasn't quite sure on what yet. So they could just chill in the kitchen for now. I sorted through some loot, pulling out what I wanted, and then I thought I'd head out to the city again. Not trying to run around aimlessly, but it was day 82 and I had no clue what I needed for boss fights.
The mana is pretty fast, and I think that red beam there might be an obelisk. So, I think if we just keep heading straight, we'll probably be okay.
I jumped on my mana and beelined it towards the beam. I discovered that there were missions on the bridge, so these actually might be what I need to do, since I didn't have to go as far into the city. They were Gamma too. I found myself blowing through a town square, and eventually I found what I was looking for.
This is the obelisk. This is it.
Oh, no you don't. Our palace is closed to the general public and locked by sigil codes. You will never again see the inside of it, so perish that thought now.
Why is this guy talking like this is Disney World or something? Once he was done yapping, I took a look inside and saw what I needed to do the boss fight. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with Gamma because let's face it, I'm just one guy, and it is clear at this point that this is a map that is meant to be played with other people. It's looking a little grindy. Here. And even with those other people, this can be really, really grindy. Now, I'm not saying Alpha's impossible to do solo. I'm just saying I don't want to do it solo because look at all that grinding. So Gamma was just my speed. To do it, I'd need 100 minor Aberrant sigils, 100 minor Crimson sigils, 5 Neophyte horns, and 1 Alpha zombie brain.
I think we got the one sigil from fighting the thingies. I haven't seen the other one yet, but maybe we get the zombie brains from the zombies, perhaps?
With one mission giving me 10 sigils, I have a lot of missions I need to find and complete, as well as not knowing where to get these horns or brains. That's something to worry about in the not so distant future for me, as I wanted to try some of these bridge missions. I threw out some Octodons and I went in. It was all good for a while.
Okay. Oh, something just broke all my armor. What was that?
And then from there, it just kind of got worse.
Something just broke all my armor. What was that? I think some of my guys fell off. I got no armor on. Oh, this is not good at all.
Most of my Octodons fell off, and because my armor was absolutely obliterated, I was now freezing to death.
I'm gonna die.
Just returned from a mission,
Oh.
and he's drawing a bead on you now.
I don't have any armor.
I probably shouldn't have kept going, but I figured me and the other Don could quickly take this boss out. This guy just kept teleporting away. This was probably the worst one to get in this situation where time wasn't on my side.
Oh no.
And was that the worst thing that could happen? No, it wasn't. I made myself some new armor and saddled up a mana to quickly get over there. On my way over, I got held up by some revenants.
I'm afraid you've made a nuisance of yourself. A few of my special children are on their way to the...
Yeah, I didn't have time to deal with that. When I arrived, the mission was no longer active, so that sucked. But then this happened.
Can't even tell what we're fighting. Oh, this thing's pushing me. Oh, my Ocelot was killed by a lost raptor. That sucks.
My Ocelot started dying.
Yeah, I don't know. This ain't good.
I had no clue where they were, but I need to get my stuff and save the 2 Ocelotons I had left. My time in the city so far hasn't been so great, with the relentless force of the citizens here. Those Ocelotons should have been strong enough, but maybe they weren't on neutral. It really sucks at this point to lose some of my strongest ones to something so stupid. Defeated, I returned home to a bunch of babies that I was going to need to raise to monsters pretty quickly. And this continued into day 83, where I tried to clean up some of these Ocelotons. I did get some treasure maps from all that chaos that would be worth checking out. I repaired my armor and realized this entire trip I didn't have Momo with me. So Momo's safe, everyone! What a relief. I don't think I can handle another stressful day, so I figured my time would best be spent looking for an alpha zombie. I used the scanner to see if I could just look one up, and that didn't work. So I could only look with my eyeballs in these purple areas. I got close enough to some, and some dimorphs attacked me. Now I didn't notice this at the time until I reviewed my footage, but when I killed these guys, my hostile number went down. So I did a little research about it and found out killing revenants does this, and killing city NPCs raises it. So that'll be good to know in the future. I kept on searching for anything that resembled an alpha zombie. I didn't even know what I was looking for.
I can't even see anything in this area. It looks like crap.
I feel like there was a time where I saw one of them, like a really long time ago.
Hulking all alpha?
Spending some time doing this, I saw many gloons. Eventually I spotted these ones.
145 gloon with 2 babies.
Like I kind of wanted to tame one of these guys because they were a Lost Colony exclusive creature, but I didn't really want to go through the whole taming process. I figured I could just get rid of the parent and claim the high level kids. I took it out easy enough, and now I play the waiting game. Okay, maybe I don't want to wait that long. I had to keep looking for alphas. As I flew around, I made note of the different outposts as I was going to have to do a bunch of these soon. I made my way around to the treasure maps, not getting anything too crazy, and then went after the other one. Had to go up the element waterfall to check out the purple air for lack of alphas, then went into a small cave system to find the chest.
Oh wait, I think that long neck's better. Yeah, it's better. Nice.
I made my way back to the purple area near my base on day 84, and I was just gloon watching when I found this.
Oh, there's an alpha right there.
I wasn't sure how difficult they would be, so I gave them some chomps with Damien. Well, the whole Z Nation came down as they didn't like me messing with their leader. So I threw out some Ocelotons to deal with them. Now, I'll admit, I wasn't really sure what was happening as these guys were a little hard to see. It was just a mass of muscles, snow, and purple pus balls. Honestly, I wasn't even sure who's winning and if they killed the alpha yet, so I continued to pull mobs over to them so they could get blended up. After what seemed like hours in game, I checked the inventory and saw that the alpha zombie brain was acquired.
Oh, I did get it.
So I went to cry out my dons and the one did not look good at all.
Oh, you almost died.
I was thinking if I could get a solid 15 Ocelotons to go into the boss fight, that might be enough. Trouble is, at this point, I only had like 2 okay ones. This was going to be a lot of grinding. Then days 85 to 88 happened. They were dedicated to one thing, the grind. I needed sigils, lots of sigils. So I started tearing through the missions whenever I found them.
Freeze everything nearby, do what you can to destroy it, and thaw out my outposts.
Defense missions, attack missions,
How dare you raid one of my outposts?
more defense missions,
Property.
occasionally standing around waiting for undead creatures to remember how pathfinding works.
Is he under the water? Get out of here with that. That's stupid. I guess I'll just wait for that guy to drown.
The loot started piling up fast. Better weapons, better armor, better fabricated crossbows, auto turrets, and more thralls than I knew what to do with. At one point, I got a little too confident. I thought I'd help deal with one of the bosses myself. You know, because I'm supposed to hit these little pus bubbles here. Well, this is what happened when I tried.
Oh! Oh no!
Fortunately, when I came back, the Octodons had basically finished the wave without me. And after the next wave was won, this reward was worth it. A high-level scattershot thrall. I also tackled my first Gladiator's Keep mission, which ended with a lost Octodon boss getting absolutely folded by the crew. There was this other thing that happened during the defense missions where you would get like an explorer's note giving you some more backstory, which I was pretty interested in and I thought was pretty cool. But the thing is, it's like you have the timer down at the bottom, and in a time where I have to level up a lot, you know, this is useful. And these little slideshows were kind of long, so I was torn between watching the slideshow and actually using the explorer's note. While I was watching one of them, something tried attacking me, but my new thrall took care of it.
Right that all of this seems artificial, but whoever made it, they're way beyond us.
Coming up on day 89, I had done a little boss tribute research since I was getting close to the end and I didn't know where to find neophyte horns. Well, turns out, they find you. Buffed up man-bat mutants with anger issues and absolutely no concept of personal space. These are the guys the king was talking about when he was talking about me getting hunted. To get them to endlessly bother you, you have to get your hostility up to 50. And when the night comes when this changes to prey, get ready. I wanted to do all my city missions at the same time after I'm done the defense missions, but it's not a bad idea to prepare for these neophytes. So I decided to build a little area in the back of my base to deal with them when they eventually showed up. Plus, all these thralls needed somewhere to hang out. Might as well give them their own barracks. And if a bunch of angry vampire men decide to attack, well, it gives them something to do besides standing around my base whispering weird stuff. On day 90, I did a marksman hold mission, which I'm going to count as my first time since the city one was butt. Everything was great until the marksman showed up and this guy just kept teleporting all over the place. He wasn't tough, he was just annoying. I was learning which missions were easier and which ones were just a pain. I was getting cool loot, but I was mostly doing them for the sigils and thralls, which I got another scattershot for this one and an okay amount of ammo. Because of that, I put up some auto turrets to help thralls out. I didn't need many more defense missions and I took a quick look around to see if there were any, but they were mostly betas. I still needed more defense sigils, but there was another problem. I also needed crimson sigils, and those only come from the city. The defense missions around the map would eventually respawn, but sitting around waiting for them to do that wasn't getting me any closer to the boss. So instead of twiddling my thumbs and raising Octodons all day, it was probably time to start making progress inside the city. Which I wasn't really looking forward to, considering the last time I was there it turned into a complete disaster. But if I wanted to finish this map, I was going to need both kinds of sigils, and time was starting to run short. On day 91, I leveled up an Octodon by transferring my maxed out Draconic knowledge. This Octodon was going to be a monster, and now I had loot to grab.
Activated it. Oh, it's pretty close by. Lots of veggie cakes.
Not sure if it was worth all that XP. Might as well bring Momo on the rest of these defense missions to try and get some last minute XP. I pretty much spent the next couple days grinding them out. And then on day 94, I completed all the missions I needed for the minor aberrant sigils. All that was left was the crimson sigils from the city attack missions and the neophyte horns. Well, I could get both in the same go. After becoming the Lost King's star soldier, it was time to wreak havoc on his city. These missions were like ones I had done out in the world, but these ones were a little bit smaller. This Octodon was an absolute beast at barreling through the mission alone. And this wasn't the only one, I had a whole army of these bad boys and girls. But now it was time for me to head back to hopefully get a visit from some neophytes. These guys were supposed to be tough with a lot of health, so I hope my thralls would be able to handle it. Neophytes are strong against tame creatures, but not thralls, as you need good weapons to defeat one. My hope was to lure them here and get them blasted up. They hunt in the night, so I waited. And I waited. And I waited. And I waited. I guess they were taking a sick day. I wasn't really sure why I wasn't being pursued. Thought maybe I didn't make the king mad enough. So I went to a nearby Molten Works mission to kill some more guys and still nothing happened. And eventually the morning of day 95 came. Neophytes really wanted nothing to do with me, which was going to be a problem, since it was the last few days and I still needed 5 horns. If there was something wrong or they weren't working, I wouldn't be able to do the boss fight. Couldn't do anything about it now, but I hope they'll come out tonight. I waited again for a few hours before making the decision to go to the city because maybe they don't know where I live. Until then, I blasted through some more attack missions. That did the trick. I still had to wait, but at least I know they were coming now.
Oh wait, I think that's one. Is that it over there?
Oh, he's coming. He's coming. Oh, he's slow. They dive in with the quickness and my turrets started to unload on it, doing no damage, and it seemed like they scoffed at the effort as they just picked me up. Oh, it's got me. Fortunately, I had Momo and a shield, so I'd be okay. My thralls, however, were just standing there watching me get plucked away. How could they do this to me after they got their own place and everything? Eventually, a neophyte dropped me back down to stand awkwardly in the corner. Probably because my thralls were all standing awkwardly as well. The second I fired an arrow, everyone suddenly remembered their job descriptions. Look at them. Oh. It's not as fast, but these guys are doing it. They successfully took them out, and I got some better weapons along with 2 neophyte horns. So I was going to have to do this 2 more times before the end. And well, this was the home stretch. Nothing to it but to do it. The final days were spent preparing for the end. More missions. More sigils. More horns.
They're getting them in the corner. They're getting them.
More levels. And more ocelots. Day 100. After everything this map has thrown at me, it was finally time.
The Codex has to be somewhere inside his palace. Let's just hope this lost king hasn't realized why you're here. Do what you can to stay alive while I keep trying to get you inside.
Eventually I reached a section where I had to leave the Ocedons behind. I used my Thrall Warden to safely navigate each one of these rooms.
We've got the whole override code. Now all we need is his master key. You found the master encryption key. Now I can decrypt the override code. Open sesame. Let's hope that's the last lock I need to pick.
You do realize you can't win, don't you? You're all alone against an entire kingdom. So be it. I'll be waiting for you in my great hall.
I'm sorry, Survivor, but there's no time to catch your breath. Inside to the left, you've got a straight shot to the Codex, but you've got to hurry.
You were never after me. You want my Codex. But why? Unless that's who's been helping you. Tell your Homo Deus friend she can't have it.
After 100 days, countless missions, and an unhealthy number of Ocedons, it was finally time to face the Lost King.
I should kill you for invading our red forest and stop me from turning. King Desperus, your master beckons. Back to the air, King Desperus. How much longer can you hope to fight on? You have none of my knowledge, none of my power.
Don't listen to me. You're making progress.
Why do you keep throwing yourself against me? I've shown you I can shrug off anything you do to hurt me.
Great work. Now overload the rest.
He was finally defeated, and I thought I was done, but then he called out to his queen.
My queen! Hear me! The kingdom is yours! Protect the children! Protect the lost! You will not survive her.
Oh snap, that's my girl Mei Yin.
You should not have come here. You
And so now I had to knock some sense into her with her own tech spear.
will be added to death.
Here I go. Oh, yeah, let's get her. Oh!
No, I am the lost queen.
Come on.
The arena kept shrinking, my armor was breaking, and I was afraid of getting one shot. And every time I tried to get to the tether, I got smacked back. Eventually I stopped trying to play cautious, I got right on the edge of the damage zone and I just committed.
Okay. Ooh. She kept making the hole smaller. Ooh.
After the fight, Mei Yin finally came back to her senses.
I know you, Helena. I know you, Mei Yin.
And everything was right in the world.
Finally be set right.
With my job done, I could finally ascend. I adorned my base with trophies to let everyone know exactly who saved Lost Colony. I also got a Giga Desmodus egg, which looked a little weird.
Oh. That's creepy. Look at that thing.
Let's see if this thing is any good.
Oh, it's not really that fast. Make that guy look like a baby. Can I pick you up? No. How much damage? Oh, it's a lot of damage. That's crazy. Look. Make this guy look tiny. The way he flies is goofy. His body's too heavy.
Anyone who watches my videos knows how I feel about creatures you get after the boss fight. This mount was pretty cool and it would have been nice to use during this playthrough. Overall, this map had a lot of new features that brought new life to the game, and some other features that just sucked it right out. I know I didn't get to everything this map has to offer.
I mean, I haven't touched this thing since like the first week.
But I did enjoy how it forced me to play it a little bit differently than my usual. I'd love to hear what your experiences were like with this map down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the adventure, be sure to give it a like, and consider subscribing for more 100 Days videos. You can even check out these ones right here. Thanks for watching and take care.